is not going to learn to hit right-handed in the second half of the year. He's a lefty.
And if he did, I don't think he wouldn't be very
do
as well. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And I think AJ is so enamored with Jiren Durant.
Okay.
He's a free agent in 2029, John.
Yep.
He's arbitration eligible in 2026, and right now he's making $3.85 million.
Right. So to your point, you're right. So not only controllable, but affordable.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one, Jon and Jim. We're getting you ready for an All-Star game. We also have another great giveaway today. More Comic-Con badges, guys. We're giving away a pair of single-day badges for Comic-Con. And it's the same deal as yesterday, right? Are we going to hear the same theme song? We're going to hear the Superman theme song. And when you hear it, you're going to have 5 minutes to open the iHeartRadio app, search for San Diego Sports 760, click on the red talkback mic, leave a talkback. All you got to do is leave a talkback that says your favorite superhero. You just got to do it within 5 minutes of hearing the sounder. Do we have the sounder? This is what's in the sounder. Now, don't open the talkback mic yet because it's the next time you hear it. You're going to hear it every single hour, and then we'll announce today's winner at 5:30. So the next time you hear that, you got 5 minutes. Open the app, click on San Diego Sports 760, leave a talkback, tell us your favorite superhero. Boom, you're entered to win not one badge, Jim. Not 3 badges, Jim, but 2 badges to Comic-Con, single-day badges for next weekend in San Diego.
And Brent could play this as many times as he wants in an hour. You can play it once, you can play it twice, you can play it 5 times.
Oh.
This is open
Universal
to
DH.
Universal DH, so I guess.
Yeah.
So it can be played multiple times in an hour. So you have to listen for your chance to go to the talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app, San Diego Sports 760. Make sure to put us in your presets. And again, like John said, you got 5 minutes after you hear that sounder every single time in today's show and for the rest of the week, because we are having badges that we're giving away every single day up until Friday on Jon and Jim.
All right, let's start here and let's be serious. What on earth is Dave Roberts thinking with this lineup?
I can't believe Manny's hitting 5th.
You mentioned it in the update. Manny Machado will start, well-deserved off his first half. Fernando Tatis Jr., in all likelihood, will appear in this game. We'll see if all 3 Padres relievers get in this game or not.
If you're Dave Roberts, I'm pitching Adrian Morejon, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez.
3
2 innings
each. They're the 3 pitchers.
Yeah,
exactly. But we'll see. I mean, the National League has, I think, lost 10 of 11 All-Star games. The 2 sides have split the last 2, but I think the National League has lost 10 of 11 or 11 of 12. This comes on the heels of last night's home run derby. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Cal Raleigh winning the derby.
Your pick?
He was my pick.
Do you forget that it was your pick?
A little bit. I mean, I have to be, I'm going to be 100% honest because we watched the first hour here. This started at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
I went home. Kristen even had it on. I wasn't overly into it. I mean, I was casually watching it, but I wasn't like glued to my television. You know, I mean, the highlight for me was the 513-foot home run from O'Neal Cruz. That happened, I think, right at 6 p.m. And that was on social media. Everyone lost their mind. It was like the longest home run ever. That to me was the highlight. I don't know. It's like you see it the same thing. It's kind of like the slam dunk contest, Jim. What are you going to do next? All the dunks have been done. What are you going to do next in home run derby? Hit a ball further? So, you know, I don't know. I've been there, done that. Congratulations to Cal Raleigh. It's like a top moment in the history of the Mariners.
I watched 0 seconds of it.
No, you watched some of it here.
Like
a little bit.
Like going home, I did not put it on. It wasn't something that I was overly excited about. Mm-hmm. Like, I got to watch the home run derby. Maybe if there was a Padres player in it. Actually, if there was a Padres player in it, I would have absolutely turned it on when that Padres player would have been up. But, you know, seeing people's reaction on social media, of course, that's the first place you go to see like if it was good or not for something is social media's reaction. Yeah. And their reaction to it was not great. I guess, you know, just the way that it was presented. Once again, it's not really presented well on television, and some highlights that I did see, it was like, okay. Nothing really special about it. It's just, I like that there's actually some star players in it, unlike the dunk contest. You actually get some names in there. I mean, Cal Raleigh, he's the best catcher in the sport. He's going to potentially hit 60 home runs this year.
He probably will.
And, you know, he'll finish second in MVP voting to Aaron Judge, most likely. Maybe things change, but still, you got some big names in there. No doubt about it. It's just, the presentation of it, from what the little I saw on social media and here, it was just like, okay.
I mean, I don't even know what else you could do. I just think at the end of the day, it's like we've seen the home run derby for 35 years. And to me, it's like, kind of been there, done that. The thing with the All-Star game, among all the All-Star games, at least it remains the truest, so to speak. I mean, the NFL literally ditched it because nobody's tackling anyone. Nobody's stopping anyone. It was absurd. People are still watching on TV because it's football, but they literally ditched it. The NBA has become a mockery even of the NBA, where nobody wants to play defense. The final score is like 202 to 198. At least with baseball tonight, you can't really fake this. Paul Skeens can't go out there and do anything but try his best. I mean, you could get yourself hurt. I mean, it's real baseball. It's an actual game. So I'm intrigued by it. And I'd like to see the Padres make, pay dividends. You like to see Machado on a national stage. You'd like to see Fernando Tatis Jr. on a national stage. Maybe these relievers play a role in this game for the NL as well. So among the All-Star games, I could completely get behind a Major League Baseball All-Star game.
What I'm excited for tonight, and not only seeing, Adrian Morejon and Jason Adam potentially making their, All-Star game debuts tonight, is the presentation, the look. I'm not excited to listen to Joe Davis. Joe Davis is calling it, right? I think he's calling it with John Smoltz. They're the A team. They're the A team on Fox.
Yeah.
So they're calling the game tonight. Not particularly excited to listen to those two guys. I would much rather have Joe Buck be there. But anyway, I'm excited because we're getting back to old school All-Star game looks where everybody wears their jerseys, not these created for just a money grab jerseys that are made by Nike that are awful, but every single player, National League will wear their home jerseys, American League will wear their road jerseys.
Yep.
And so you go out, and so when you're watching your favorite player tonight, you're watching your favorite player in the jerseys that they wear on a daily basis, not some created jerseys for a money grab. And that's the one part about the game. I know it's so tiny, but we're not going to see the first thing on social media tonight be everybody complaining about the jerseys. I'm happy about that.
No, I agree with you. And I'm with you. I like the All-Star game introductions. I like the pomp and circumstance. Yeah. I'm not always enamored with the middle of the game when all the changes are occurring. But then again, with the Padres, that might be when you see most of the Padres. You might have a scenario where in the 6th inning, Tatis is batting and Morejon is pitching. And in the 7th inning, Jason Adam is out there. Or in the 8th or 9th inning, Robert Suarez is out there. So maybe later in the game, you'll actually see more of the Padres. I was going to hit on what Tatis had to say yesterday about Ohtani that we made something to do of. You want to do that on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 4 hours.
Oh, we do. We do. We absolutely have 4 hours. Yeah. Okay. What else you got on the All-Star game?
Well, I was just going to say, when you think about the All-Star game and back to Jersey's point of this, we have not seen the Padres in their, new jerseys in the All-Star game, because when the Padres switched over their jerseys in 2020, that was a short year. There wasn't an All-Star game. 2021 is when they debuted the it wasn't in Colorado. I think it was in Colorado because Fernando Tatis Jr. was a starting shortstop that year, and he led off the game against Shohei Ohtani.
That's right. Yeah.
And those jerseys, everyone's like, wait, whoa.
Yeah,
what the hell is this?
Sure.
So this is the first year that you're going to see the Padres pinstripes, the new Padres pinstripes, in the All-Star game. I think that's cool. If you're a fan, when you watch the introductions, because I think the introductions are one of the best parts about the All-Star game. In the first couple innings, when all the starters are out there and the matchups that they have, like Paul Skeens against Aaron Judge, like sign me up.
Yeah.
He's batting third tonight, I think, Aaron Judge. I'm pretty sure.
I think I just had the lineup up in front of me, but yeah. Let's see here.
He has to be, because you got to get Judge versus Skeens at least one at
He's
bat.
batting third.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me the lineup for the American League.
Yeah, it's 2 Tigers, Gleyber Torres and Riley Green, then Judge, then Cal Raleigh, then Vladdy hits 5th, Ryan O'Hearn of the Orioles, Junior Camarena, who's in the home run derby, Javi Baez, who's back at an All-Star game as a center fielder for the Tigers, then Jacob Wilson, the star for the A's.
So we're going to get a Paul Skeens versus Aaron Judge matchup, which is going to be cool. And then Tariq Skubal starting for the American League. Give me the National League.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first, exactly. You're going to get Skubal Ohtani, because Ohtani leads off in the All-Star game.
Love it.
Ronald Acuna Jr., the hometown kid with the Braves. Ketel Marte, who's had an amazing year.
Yeah.
Then Freddie Freeman, Machado, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker of the Cubs, Lindor for the Mets, and the second best outfielder or center fielder in the sport, Pete Crow Armstrong, starting over Jackson Merrill, who's not in the game this year.
We saw Pete Crow Armstrong on the red carpet. I respect your game, man.
Definitely respect his game. There's
I
no
respect
question
your
about
game,
it.
bro. If you know what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get some really good matchups in the first inning, and hopefully we see, Fernando Tatis Jr. early in the game. Do you want to see Adrian Morejon and Jason Adam and Robert Suarez out there, or would you rather have them get the rest?
Me personally, I could not care less if they appear in a game. Like those middle innings where you're getting relievers and you're getting the substitutes. Now, some of the substitutes are unbelievable. I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr. is a star of stars in his career, and he's a Padre, so we're excited to see him. I've never been the guy that gets excited about like the reliever coming in for the Blue Jays. Now, again, when it's your team, I think that's more exciting. And typically, everyone gets excited about the starting lineups. The game will be determined in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely, the winning hit comes from the 5th inning or later.
Yeah.
And the game is going to be won or lost by a reliever pitching in the 5th inning or later.
And all fans just hope that the pitcher that gives it up isn't their pitcher.
Exactly. You don't want to have the 3-2 lead in the 8th inning and Jason Adam allows 3 runs.
Yeah, you do not want to have your favorite player or your player from your favorite team get tagged with the L.
Absolute worst.
Yeah, you're like, please have a clean inning. Please have a clean inning.
It used to be even worse. That's not even a term. When the All-Star game was determining who had home field in the World Series. Like, are you kidding me? The Rockies just cost my team home field advantage because this rando came in the 7th inning, allowed 4 runs.
Yeah, that was that was definitely a weird time for sure. Thank goodness they're not doing that anymore.
Not only do they not do that, Brent made this point with me off air. There was an era under Bud Selig, and the Milwaukee game was the example when they had to stop the game because it used to be every player had to appear.
Yeah.
And you'd have a pitcher come in for one batter and another pitcher come in. No longer do they do that. No. You're not going to see every player appear in this game. They'll treat it at some point like a Major League Baseball game. Some of the pitchers aren't going to appear in this game. It's just how it's going to work.
I do want to see Adrian Morejon and Jason Adam in this game because it's their first All-Star appearance. And
it makes sense.
Who knows if they'll make the All-Star team ever again, because middle relievers, it's really hard to make it.
It is.
But at the same time, like, I kind of want them to get the rest. Like, they've been working their ass off, especially Jason Adam this year.
Yeah, does he still lead baseball or the National League in appearances? I think he does.
Has to.
He has to.
Has to.
He'll be fine to throw an inning and then not be available again until Friday. It's only one time over 4 days, but I get the point.
Does Dave Roberts give Suarez the ball in the 9th if they have the lead? He's got 28 saves. Stay tuned.
Find out tonight.
Or is he still butthurt about what happened with him hitting Ohtani?
I don't think he is, and we can discuss that on the other side because of Ohtani's reaction to Robert Suarez yesterday. Plus, let's say we made something of this yesterday because Fernando Tatis Jr. had a quote about Shohei Ohtani. You're going to hear what he said. You'll hear it from his own mouth on the other side of this break. Plus, we're getting you ready for Mountain West Football Media Days, which are tomorrow and Thursday in Las Vegas. We're going to broadcast live from there. We'll get a Mountain West Media Day primer from BJ Rains, who covers Boise State. He'll join us coming up at 2:30. Again, be listening for that Superman theme song when you hear it. Open the app, search for San Diego Sports 760, click the talkback mic. Tell us your favorite superhero within 5 minutes of hearing the sounder. You're eligible to win 2 badges to Comic-Con here in 2025. We're going to hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. on the other side. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, tomorrow at 6, right here on San Diego Sports 760, SDFC Midweek Live. You're going to hear from Mikey Varis. We'll talk about SDFC. Coming up this hour, find out the latest of the club every Wednesday at 6 on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Just like that, Jim. Our first sounder of the hour, which means you need to open up the iHeartRadio app right now. Search for San Diego Sports 760. Click on the talkback mic, that little red microphone. Tell us your favorite superhero. You got to do it within 5 minutes. You're automatically entered to win 2 badges, single-day badges for Comic-Con 2025. We'll announce today's winner at 5:30.
Yeah, the countdown is on. You now have under 5 minutes to get to the iHeartRadio app. Look up San Diego Sports 760, put us in your presets, and hit that red talkback mic to give us your name and favorite superhero. And like you said, John, you're then entered to win. We'll be announcing the grand prize winner of today's badges at 5:30. So make sure you're listening for that.
4 minutes. Open that app right now. Tell us your favorite superhero. Search for San Diego Sports 760. All right. It was Darnay Trip. His tweet completely blew up yesterday.
I did not expect that.
I didn't either. But it goes to prove what we were saying because we made something of it. We weren't the only people to make something of it. He had a tweet yesterday. I mean, this is probably the most viewed tweet he's ever had. 2.6 million views. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's got 8,000 likes.
Because he mentioned Ohtani's name.
And all he said was Tatis. I mean, you can mention Ohtani and not get 3 million views. Tatis was asked during his media session who the best player in the league is right now. Mm-hmm. And then he put the quote. The quote, and we'll hear from Tatis in a moment, is this. His answer with a laugh. I feel like that's a really obvious question, but he's my rival. I'm not going to mention his name. You know it already. 17 for the blue team.
And we tried
to make that into like Tatis thinks Ohtani is his rival.
But then we talked it out. And I feel like I came to the conclusion, I don't know about you yet, but I came to the conclusion after talking about it for about 3 or 4 minutes of like, oh, I get what he's talking about. He's not trying to make this a thing between him and Ohtani. The Dodgers are the Padres' rival, and he just doesn't want to mention his name.
Yeah, no, 100%. In fact, I think I tried to convince you of that.
You did? Well, you tried to convince. At first, it was like,
well, we both made it. But then when when he says it's a really obvious question, he can't be comparing himself to Ohtani.
It's an obvious, because the best player
he says obvious.
Is Ohtani, obvious, but I don't want to say his name because they're our rival.
But again, it got 2 million views and 8,000 likes and all these comments and quote tweets. So people were basically theorizing on what was being said here. This is actually what Tatis said, which I think ends the conversation.
Among all the players in the league, if you have to pick one player, who do you think is the best player in the league right now?
I feel like that's a really obvious question. No, but he's my rival. I'm not going to mention his name. You know it already. You know it. 17 for the blue team.
Tatis is completely. I get it now. When I hear it, I completely get it.
Yeah, it's much different when you hear it than when you read it on a tweet.
Yeah, when you read a tweet, I mean, if he said it without laughing and like straight faced, was like, he's my rival. He's my bitter rival. It's Shohei Ohtani, and like, I consider myself as equal. He didn't say that. He says obvious that it's him. And I get not saying his name because the rival is the LA Dodgers. It's 17 for the blue team. Mm-hmm. I respect it.
Yeah, I actually love that answer.
Yeah, exactly. It goes against some of the podcast stuff we've talked about over the last 12 months.
Yeah, by the way, no more podcast guys.
That's what I say.
No more. I don't want to see any Padres player on Mookie's podcast ever. Like none of that anymore. Jackson, Tatis. Sorry, guys. Podcast days with the Dodgers, that's over with.
Yeah, I'm going to do something we haven't done much of over the last couple of years. I'm going to give Shohei Ohtani credit. Because there was a moment caught on video yesterday before the home run derby where Ohtani is clutching at his ribs and looking at Robert Suarez and pretending like he's so hurt in his midsection because it was Suarez that hit Ohtani earlier this year when the bench is cleared in San Diego. And that's when Ohtani waved everyone off and said it's not a big deal. And he was joking with Suarez about it. They embraced, they hugged. They both were smiling and laughing. I give Ohtani credit for that. They're teammates for a night. Mm-hmm. They're teammates basically for 24, 48 hours over this All-Star week. It's kind of like saying water under the bridge, much ado about nothing. He joked it off.
Now, I still hate Ohtani.
Yeah, I'm just giving him credit for that.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. It's a good, jab. It's a funny joke.
Yeah, like we get it.
You're
killing me, man.
Everybody in that moment knew what was coming. Even Ohtani, back when Robert Suarez hit him in the back, the only person that decided to make it something was Dave Roberts. He decided to, cross a line and then physically assault Mike Schilt and not understand why what was happening.
Right.
So I do give credit to Ohtani for that, but I still hate him. I mean, I'm with Tatis. I hate the Dodgers. I hate everything about the Dodgers. I hate most of their fans. I hate every Dodger player. I hate that organization. Like, that's just how I feel about the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I don't think Tatis feels the same way because he was on Mookie Betts' podcast.
But I know he was.
You know what I mean?
What I appreciate, and one thing
maybe
that
he learned from it.
Here's one thing that we were asking for is, like, even if you guys don't hate the other team, which obviously they don't, because it's a business and everyone's making all this money, and fans feel much differently about things than players do.
Yeah, they're in the same union.
Yeah,
they're represented by the same person.
But what I appreciate is, like, at least humor us. At least pretend that you don't like them. Pretend you don't like the Dodgers, because all the fans don't like each other. So when you go out there and you're hugging and you're smiling and you're going on their podcast, it just takes away from that rivalry. And so I appreciate Tatis saying that about Ohtani, where he's like, I'm not even going to mention his name because he's our rival. Like, thank you. Yes, pretend. Humor us a little bit.
I completely agree. We'll get back to it. Plus, the latest here with SDFC. Why is the top goal scorer in the league in terms of goals per minute leaving SDFC? But on the other side, a Mountain West Media Day primer. We'll be in Vegas Wednesday and Thursday. BJ Rains covers Boise State. We'll talk about the upcoming football season, about media days with BJ Rains, Bronco Nation News. On the other side, again, listen for that sounder for Comic-Con badges today. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. We'll start with the home run derby last night. Cal Raleigh beats Junior Camarena to win the home run derby. Tonight is the All-Star Game in Atlanta. Manny Machado starting at third base for the National League, hitting fifth in tonight's lineup. The other Padres All-Stars, Fernando Tatis Jr., Adrian Morjon, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez. And moving over to San Diego FC. San Diego FC and forward Milan Olowski have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. The 25-year-old will now rejoin his club in Europe. Milan had 10 goals in 14 matches this season with SDFC. Need help fast? Anderson's same-day guarantee clears clogs pronto. Nobody wows clients like they do. Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air has served over 500,000 residential clients for more than 45 years. Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. That's AndersonPHA.com.
All right, we'll get back to the All-Star Game of the Padres coming up within the next 30 minutes, but we will be out in Vegas tomorrow. Mountain West Media Days 2025. Great to connect with BJ Rains, who's already in Vegas, covering Boise State for Bronco Nation News. And BJ, appreciate you rejoining us here on Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We're looking forward to the event and seeing you tomorrow. A year ago, I feel like the biggest storyline is you've got a potential Heisman candidate heading into the year in Ashton Jeanty. And a Boise State team that ultimately would end up getting to the college football playoff. What's the biggest storyline this year heading into the event? And is it the fallout from the departures of these 5 schools next year heading to the Pac-12?
Well, it's going to be me ticked off if this Wi-Fi doesn't start working here in the media room. I'll tell you that.
Okay, us too.
Trying to set up our cameras and stuff, and it's not going well so far. But yes, I would say it's got to be. I mean, I hate to take the cliche, easy way out answer, but yeah, it's got to be the whole deal with the lawsuits and the switching conferences and the fact that nearly half these teams that are going to be here will not be here next year. And so, 5 teams are leaving and there's, some schools, including San Diego State and Boise State, that just put out pretty terse statements in the last week against the Grand Canyon edition. And so, I think you're talking about some really unhappy people and the chance for some fireworks. And it's going to be very curious what Gloria Nevarez says tomorrow in her opening address. Does she come out swinging? Does she play it by the book and that she could be lawyered up and have all of her talking points and then play it safe, or what happens? Because some of these schools have been pretty vocal about this. And so I know Jeremiah Dickey, the Boise State athletic director, is going to be here and doing interviews on Thursday and tomorrow afternoon as well. And some of the other athletic directors will be here. So I do think it's very curious what tone they take here. And do they play nice or do they come out swinging? I think unfortunately, you'd like to be talking football. You'd like to be talking standings and things like that, but there's really no way around it this year. This is the overarching thing is these 5 teams leaving and this litigation and these exit fees and all this stuff. I think it's going to be this big dark cloud, but for guys like you and me, I mean, it's going to make for fun interviews and fun couple days.
Yeah, there definitely is a chance of fireworks in Vegas this week. BJ, when you look on the field last year, Boise State, magical run to the college football playoff, Ashton Jeanty finishing runner-up in the Heisman, should have won the Heisman. But when you look at this year on the field, Boise and the rest of the Mountain West Conference currently, how big is the gap there, in your opinion, between Boise and the rest of the schools in the Mountain West Conference this year?
Well, I think Boise State here at Circa is minus 125 to win the Mountain West. And when you look at some of the other playoff teams and things like that, I mean, it's not even really close in terms of the gap for Boise State and the rest of the league. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy. You lose an Ashton Jeanty, and yet people aren't that concerned with the running game with some of the other running backs that they have waiting in the wings and, what they have across the board. And so, I think this will be, I think, guys, the 18th year in a row, I think 18 or 19. I think it's 18 years in a row that Boise State will be picked to either win its division or win its conference, depending on the voting and depending on the league. So, I mean, it's pretty remarkable, 18-year run, the preseason favorites. And so that'll certainly continue. And I think they are pretty big favorites, but there's a couple other teams. I mean, San Jose State, I don't know if you guys looked at their schedule. They don't play the 3 toughest teams in the league this year. That's an interesting team for me to sneak into the championship game. Colorado State was close last year. And I don't think they lost to Fresno or somebody. And then if you Dan Mullen, I think it's a big wild card there. It wouldn't shock me if they go 10-2, or wouldn't shock me if they go 6-6 at UNLV. So I think there's some other teams that have a chance, but I think on paper, Boise State is the clear and heavy favorite here in their last year in the league.
BJ Rains covers Boise State, Bronco Nation News with us right now, Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I'm curious to get your thoughts from afar on Sean Lewis entering year 2 in San Diego State. I mean, you think about the Boise San Diego State short-lived football series. I'm not sure if it's a rivalry or not, but it's been a pretty well-contested series historically. I think all-time 10 games, and San Diego State has won 4 of the 10 games. From your seat, how important is San Diego State's success moving forward, specifically into the Pac-12, for just the viability of whether it's the Mountain West or the Pac-12 moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised to see their over-under is only like 4.5 this year, because I actually like San Diego State, and I think that they're a team that it's kind of, and Boise State fans don't like me saying this, and for all your fans that think I always just talk negatively and don't like San Diego State, I actually think that they're a sleeping giant out there. I mean, we've seen what the basketball program has done, certainly, but with that new football stadium and that town you can recruit to, and that city and the beach, and you get, what Sean Lewis did at Kent State, I think he was an excellent hire to come in there. And I know it takes some time, and obviously last year probably wasn't the year that anybody had hoped for, but whether it's this year or next year, I mean, I think they're primed to really take a step forward. And I really like Sean Lewis. I think he's going to do a strong job. And yeah, certainly it's important. They're one of the flagship programs in this league, and everybody can talk all they want to about basketball, but I mean, football is what runs the show and makes the money. And so you need every football team to do what they can to get back to, that kind of national level. But I actually really like the Sean Lewis hire. I think he's going to do a great job. I know they were 3-9 last year, I think, but I think that they're a team that, like I said, new stadium, the city, you got a good coach there. I mean, it's only going to matter of time before I think he really gets things turned around there and gets it going.
What are your thoughts on the new Pac-12 media rights deal?
Well, we'll see what the rest of it is. Yeah, I think it was nice to get CBS involved and to get, some of the football games, some of the basketball games. And I think that's certainly a big deal. But I mean, I want to see what else is coming on that. Is this, what other networks are involved? I really think ESPN needs to be involved. I think that, I've said this on my shows and stuff. I mean, Boise State was pretty much made a national brand by ESPN and playing games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays early on. And they had a great relationship with ESPN. And then that kind of went away when they in 2014 or whatever year it was, where they switched over and ESPN was not part of the Mountain West agreement anymore. And I just think that with the college football playoff being on ESPN, with college game day on ESPN, with all the narratives that they push, you need to have ESPN involved, because they push the games, especially, in the non-Power 5. They just don't push any games or teams that they don't have deals with. And so I think for Boise State's sake, for this league's sake, you really got to find a way to get ESPN involved. So when you're on a Saturday morning on college game day, they're putting on the Saturday slate, the biggest 3 or 4, Pac-12 games that are coming up that night. I really do think that's important, because they really just kind of ignore, and Boise State, for all the Genty hype and talk, they really did not get a lot of national publicity on ESPN last year, because ESPN didn't have their games and didn't really care. And so I think that's very important to have ESPN involved. I'll be curious if there's any kind of streaming involved in Amazon or whatever else it looks like. But no, I think it was a nice start with CBS, but I still think they need a couple more big partners, and I'm curious to see what that looks like and what the money situation looks like as well.
BJ Rain's with us right now, Jon and Jim. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the addition, not just the addition of Texas State, but maybe what comes next, because it would be abnormal to have an 8-team football conference, really just 7 opponents. Maybe you play someone twice, and then with basketball, there's Gonzaga, but even there, a home and home would only be 16 conference games. Do you think they're done for 2026, or are you expecting a football or basketball addition to come?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question. I think they certainly need somebody else at some point here, because, as you said, the math just doesn't work out. And so you have exit fees and things involved. I mean, I would still, I know I'm in the minority with some, but I would still like to see UNLV. And maybe it's just because I'm, love coming to Vegas and love Circa and being here, and it's just a great town. But I still think UNLV makes some sense for this league. I mean, I was not a huge fan of the Texas State edition. I know they're betting on them, and there's some things, 5-10 years down the line, but you don't know what things are going to look like 5-10 years down the line, and realignment and all this stuff. So I wasn't a huge fan of the Texas State move, but I know they need a team and they were desperate, and I get it, but I still would like to see Memphis. I mean, if you could somehow get Memphis for football and basketball, that'd be a home run, I think, for this league. But if at least from a football standpoint, you have to have 9 teams so you can play 8 conference games. And unless they're going to do, as part of this mediation, some yearly series with Mountain West and Pac-12 schools to make up the extra game, I don't know what the plan would be, because you're less than a year away, and you're all of a sudden telling these schools they would need another game, and maybe for a year, like you said, you could do a home and home or something with the rival. I don't know how that would work out, but you need one more. I'd like to see one more, but I don't want to see, no disrespect intended, I don't need to see Rice. I don't need to see some of these other schools that are getting talked about, North Texas. I think you got your Texas State, that's fine, but now I think you really need to try to find a bigger name school. But I know money talks, and we'll just have to see if that's a possibility or not.
What'd you think of Ashton Genty getting drafted by the Raiders and staying in Las Vegas there?
That was pretty cool. I mean, I was at the draft covering that, and the difference from like a Jacksonville to a Vegas, 5 or 6 or whatever, is just crazy in terms of the hype and everything in Vegas and how close, Las Vegas is to Boise. It's an easy nonstop flight, and Boise obviously has a connection with Vegas already with the Mountain West and UNLV, and it just made a lot of sense. There'll be a lot of Boise State fans going down to games and things now. Jacksonville would have kind of been just a awful place for him to go. Just no attention, no hype. One of the furthest possible ways away from Boise. So I think people were excited to see that it was Vegas, and certainly he's got a chance. I mean, heck, last year we were here at Mountain West Media Days. He couldn't even get in the door to Circa. He wasn't 21 years old. He had to do his media days across the street at Golden Gate, and now he's already running this town as the number 6 pick in the draft. So it's crazy what can happen in a year, but I think good spot for him. Pete Carroll likes to run the football, and I think he's got a chance to have a big rookie year.
BJ, we appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow. Please fix the Wi-Fi. We need it as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys. I'm hoping they don't have the switch turned on or something yet, because this could be a rough couple of days for someone that relies on streaming cameras and things on Wi-Fi. So I'll try to get it figured out for you before you get
same
here.
with us.
We second that. Appreciate it, BJ. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, guys.
All right, great.
Take care.
Great stuff. BJ Rains again covers the Mountain West for Bronco Nation News.
That's great.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
That's fine.
Does anyone even need that?
No.
What do you do with it? Do I even need a computer?
No,
what's the point? I have a notepad.
You don't need a computer. You don't need Wi-Fi. You don't need cameras. You don't need microphones. You don't need headsets.
What do you need?
You don't need electricity.
No, you need a roulette table.
Yeah.
That's all you need in life.
Exactly. We can go to card shops. It's fine.
We can go
play Uno at the new Uno experience.
You're right. We'll do the show. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll go to Vegas for 2 days. We won't do shows either of the 2 days.
Because there's no internet, so how can you do the show? You don't need any of that stuff.
I love that.
I do too.
All right. Explain what's happening.
You have right now 5 minutes. Actually less than that, but because the countdown is on. But download the iHeartRadio app if you haven't already. Go to San Diego Sports 760. Also, make sure to put us in your presets. Hit that red talkback mic button. Tell us your name and your favorite superhero in the next 5 minutes, and then you are automatically qualified to win a pair of badges to Comic-Con next week. You have 5 minutes, so do that right now. We're announcing the grand prize winner at 5:30 today.
And by the way, pretty please, while you're in the iHeartRadio app, take the 2 seconds of putting San Diego Sports 760 as your number 1 preset. You could put San Diego Sports 760 in your preset. Set us as number 1. Why is SDFC losing the top goal scorer in Major League Soccer in terms of goals per minute? We'll explain, or try to, on the other side. It's Jon and Jim. Promote the changes to the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. It's like the run per. I've done that before. Here's the deal.
Read what's in front of you.
Today, the iHeartRadio app is like your number one best friend
Oh,
because
100%.
stay by it, open it, click on San Diego Sports 760, tap that talkback mic the next time you hear the Superman theme song, because if you do that within 5 minutes of hearing the theme song, you're automatically entered for 2 badges to Comic-Con 2025. All you have to do when you hit the talkback mic is tell us your favorite superhero. So stand by the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Jon and Jim. You can listen back to any hour or interview as well right here on the show. So this became officially official today. I don't know if it was a surprise or not. It's been heading this way. Milan Olaski, who joined us on the show before, who had 10 goals for SDFC in 14 matches, who leads Major League Soccer in goals per minute. His loan is up. He's heading back to Europe, as you've been saying in your updates. They could not come to terms on a longer-term agreement. So a San Diegan who starred in Major League Soccer is leaving SDFC. He did not play in their last match in Chicago. Still, SDFC won that match 2-1. There's been a ton of reaction to this. What are we learning here over the last 24 hours? Again, I don't think it's a shock. It was trending in this direction. They don't come to terms, Jim, and the loan is over. He's heading back to Europe.
Being a casual soccer fan, more like my knowledge of soccer and MLS and how these loans work. It's not like
trade deadline baseball, how we know all the
it's not the tippy top of the mountaintop as far as my knowledge goes with these things. But talking, like I texted Darren today and I asked him, can you kind of explain this to me?
Can you come on right now for 3 hours?
And, when he signed this loan, or when SDFC signed this loan with Milan, there was always an understanding that eventually the loan was going to end. Like, this was just what it was, which was he was going to be here for a certain amount of time. And once his loan ends, he will be going back to his club. I don't think anybody saw him just like exploding like he did. And, kind of lightning in a bottle type of situation. He had 4 goals in 1 match. He has 10 goals in 14 matches this year. His goal per minute rate is easily by far and away the best in all of MLS.
He runs laps around everyone else.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He has literally won this team games this year by himself. And I think because of that, this has become a bigger story because of how good he has been in a short period of time. When in the beginning, this was the plan all along. And once he performed the way he performed, and maybe they did have a conversation about, hey, can you give me more money? And maybe they did. And maybe the conversation went like, look, we don't have, or we're not going to give you the money because this was the plan all along, is to have you on loan. And once the loan ended, like, you're gone. Like,
but okay, so let me ask you this. And that makes perfect sense. And that's been a part of soccer, and the loan process occurs in Major League Soccer and around the world. Here is my question. I think this is the number one question that SDFC fans would want answered. What impact does this have, if any, on SDFC's ability to make a postseason run, continue the success, win an MLS Cup? Does it have a small impact? Does it have a large impact? Will he be replaced from outside? So is this a deterrent? I mean, how could it not be?
We lose
a guy that's got
premier
10 goals.
Yeah, you lose a premier goal scorer in the time that he was out there.
So, I'm trying to, what's the equivalent here? I mean, is this the Padres being without a starting pitcher for a couple of months? Is this, can this easily, maybe easy is not the right word, can this through the organization, and maybe we'll get the, Tyler Heaps back on. How easy is this? How do you overcome this? What is the process to put yourself in a position where you can overcome this and continue to move forward and continue to be the top team in the Western Conference and make a run?
It's like in baseball, if you acquire a player in the middle of the season and in 35 games for you, he hits 12 home runs and he has 50 RBIs and he's hitting 380 for you, but you never expected him to be that because you got him on a deal for like the league minimum.
But the difference is you don't get that 380 hitter in this soccer analogy, because if that happened, you're right. If they go out and get Who's the dude you love? Adolis Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
If they go out and he's like an average hitter right now, but if he hits 14 home runs over the final 55 games, they get him in the postseason.
But it's different in MLS.
I know, but I'm saying so. But again, it still counts. You're without. It would be like you get Adolis Garcia. He hits 14 home runs. He tears his knee.
Let's be real here. The main goal for a lot of these players in MLS is to play in Europe. Like that's.
I get it. That's fair. But when we're watching a season play out in real time,
I get it.
You're thinking about it like a championship.
Yeah, we are learning in real time all of these things that we didn't know beforehand. You know, we just did not know. It doesn't make sense to somebody who doesn't understand the loan process. I get that, but once you have someone tell you about it, and if someone that knows a lot about it isn't upset about it and is kind of just like this is always going to happen, then how could someone that doesn't know anything about it be upset because the person that knew everything about it isn't upset? Because that's just how this thing was going to be the entire time.
Is this like people? Is this the same as people that get mad? Oh, my star from my college team always ends up going to Ohio State football or Kentucky basketball, and that's going to prevent us from winning? Or is that more, this is a product of all Major League Soccer? It's like if Milan Olaski was on Miami, the same situation would have played out, even if he was playing with Messi, because he wants to earn more money and play in Europe, or his loan is over. So he was going to go back to his club that he was loaned from.
Honestly, John,
I
don't know what to tell you.
All right, let's go to the phones. I know Hector's a passionate SDFC supporter, and he wants to weigh in. 877-767-4760 if you want to weigh in. Hector, appreciate you waiting on hold, and thanks for calling. You're on with Jon and Jim.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, guys. I'm still kind of like in Twilight Zone mode right here, because this was a guy, my understanding was he was good through the end of July, so he still technically had 3 more games with the team, even though they didn't use him against Chicago, and they still won. But this is a guy that other teams had to plan for now. He's a curveball for the rest of the league. He came out of nowhere. He's a local kid. He's a perfect storyline, Hollywood storyline here. He's efficient. And I love Chucky Lozano. He's my favorite player in the Mexican national team, everything. I love Anders Dreyer. But, you know, in terms of dependability, in terms of efficiency, this guy was averaging basically 2 goals a game, dude. So I don't know. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but this could be something that they go back and say, why did we not wait till the end of July?
Thanks, Hector.
Yeah, I get it. He first of all, he was brought over here on loan not to just be put in the starting lineup. He predominantly came off the bench.
Did you say he made 1 start?
I think he made 1 start in 14 total matches this season.
It still did that damage.
Right. So he's not, a guy that they originally had a lot of plans for, I feel like. And it just kind of happened. It's like a perfect storm. He gets put in there and you're like, oh, this guy can do some damage off our bench.
You're 100% right. I think that's fair. But like what's the baseball analogy of that? Or what's the basketball?
I don't even think there's a real analogy you can have for that, because there's nothing like this in baseball or basketball or football. You don't get guys on loans from other leagues. And by the way, the other leagues are considered a step up from MLS. So you're not getting something like, hey, Manny Machado goes down to AAA El Paso for 30 games, and then he's getting called back up to the big leagues.
No, but my point is, you're right. They weren't expecting that level of production, but once you get it, you want to celebrate it. It's like if you trade for, like Jake Cronenworth was a throw-in player, but once he's here and he becomes a key component, you want to wrap your arms around him. And you want to enjoy the benefits of acquiring Jake Cronenworth, even though he wasn't the primary acquisition in the Blake Snell deal.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's hard to understand. Even for me right now, it's hard to understand. But when someone tells me like, this was always the plan, this was always going to happen, and the reason why there's, fans that are upset about this is because it was a lightning in a bottle situation where he just shot off like a rocket and no one expected it.
But that, and the fact that the two sides couldn't come to terms, right? Because there was still a scenario where SDFC and Milan Olaski, because in reading the release, they mutually parted ways. There's a world in which you loan a player and then you end up extending that player out.
Well, maybe he asked for a lot of money and
100%.
They couldn't, do that. And then he said, okay, well, I'm going to go back to my club. And, that's just what it is.
Let me ask you this.
Now he might have leverage for other clubs in Europe because of how well he did here with SDFC.
But do you think, like you said, we're both casual with this, does this impact their ability to continue to win at this level?
I think how could it not hurt them in some, facet? Like it's you're losing a premier scorer off your bench, a striker that, was a real weapon for you the last couple months. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this team took off the way it did once Milan Iloski started scoring as many goals as he did for this club.
That would be my only concern. If it can be replaced, that's incredible. If it can't, you really are going to feel the impact potentially of this loss moving forward.
For sure. 100%.
That's the concern.
That's the huge bummer of this whole thing.
100%. Like, you want to see this team continue to win at this clip, and maybe they will, but it feels like losing someone that has scored at this clip is going to be.
And he's our guy.
Impactful.
He was on our show.
He was on the show.
Yeah,
he's
on
San Diegan.
Yeah, I know.
Should we sneak in this call right now or on the other side? Let's sneak it in right now. Mike wants to weigh in. 877-767-4760. Mike, you're on with Jon and Jim.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, man.
I just wanted to talk about the fact that it's actually preseason over in Europe right now.
Right.
So they're getting ready. They're in between their season. So it makes sense that they would be calling him back right now.
Yeah.
Since, they're getting ready to start their season and we're kind of like middle of our season. And another thing about the transfers, those things are set in stone, and it would take a lot of money for us to buy him out of that transfer.
Right.
And those contracts and when they end are all kind of written in stone beforehand.
That's good insight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
It's just something that was always going to happen, regardless of how well he played. And when he asks for a bunch of money, SDFC is not going to do that because it's like, yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you know it going in, you're right. Your expectations are different. I don't think anyone really thought about it going in. Hey, he's going to be our top striker and we're going to lose him in a couple of months.
Right.
Because I don't think people realize that. All right. If you missed Kevin Acee yesterday, we'll share a conversation with Kevin from Atlanta on the other side. Plus chances to win those badges to Comic-Con. Hour 2, Jon and Jim is next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. The All-Star Game is tonight in Atlanta. It's raining right now in Atlanta. The tarp is currently being put on the field. Of course it is. Atlanta sucks. But if they do get the All-Star Game underway tonight, Manny Machado is the starter at third base for the National League, hitting 5th tonight. The 4 other Padres in the game that will likely make appearances: Fernando Tatis Jr., Jason Adam, Adrian Morjon, and Robert Suarez. And we just talked about it. San Diego FC and forward Milan Alowski have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. The 25-year-old will now rejoin his club in Europe. Milan had 10 goals in 14 matches with SDFC this season. Rebate funds are running out fast. Don't get left behind. At Anderson Plumbing, they're buying back your old water heater and giving you $500 in instant savings. Call Anderson PHA today. Nobody wows clients like they do.
Previously on Jon and Jim.
The 2 primary offensive issues. You need a right-handed bat. Jiren Durant is not going to learn to hit right-handed in the second half of the year as a left.
And if he did, I don't think he wouldn't be very
do
good
as well. I'll tell you why. Okay. I think AJ is so enamored with Jarren Duran.
Okay.
He's a free agent in 2029, John.
Yep.
He's arbitration eligible in 2026, and right now he's making $3.85 million.
Right. So to your point, you're right. So not only controllable, but affordable.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego, Southern California, what's going on? Hour 2, Jon and Jim. If you missed Kevin Acee yesterday, we'll have that for you coming up at 3:30. We're going to do 3, but it's already 3:05. So if you missed Kevin Acee, you'll hear that coming up at 3:30. There was something earlier that I wanted to get to. You have this sound, Brent, that was in the rundown for earlier that I've moved down from A-Rod. Have you heard this, Jim? Did you click on this?
What did A-Rod say?
So
about Rob Manfred? Today on the Herd?
Yes.
But Colin was not on?
I know. I think this is with
Oh, it is Colin?
Colin.
It is Colin? Okay.
Because I know you're saying this is with Colin.
Oh, it is Colin. Okay.
This is with Colin. So Colin, you know how Colin is with baseball's on Fox, and he goes on down these like diatribes, like everything's great. I love baseball.
Well,
like,
he doesn't know baseball because recently he mentioned like Mookie Betts is the second best player of the sport. You're like,
he's like, I love baseball. This is like the greatest thing ever.
You don't watch it.
So he was praising Rob Manfred, which he's done before, and he's had Manfred on the show, and that's fine. He can praise him, whatever. That's fine. But
I praised him last week, by the way, while you were gone.
But did you go as far as A-Rod went today?
I did not go as far as A-Rod, but last week while you were gone, I did
what
praise
was the primary, what were you referring to in your praise?
I was referring to the changes that he's made to the game, which is the pitch clock. I think I might be the only person that likes the ghost runner rule in the regular season, just because.
No, a lot of people like it because you don't have to go 15 innings.
But there's also a lot of people that hate it.
Yeah. Where are those?
But they're out there.
Okay.
Right? Brent doesn't like it. I personally do like it because I don't want the games going 15, 16, 17 innings.
Yeah.
But pitch clock, the ghost runner, I like the ABS system that will be installed next season. I do like the expansion of the playoffs, and I do like the All-Star game now going back to the regular jerseys. I don't think he had much to do with that, but I gave him credit for those things, putting the ABS system in the All-Star game and
right. So under his watch,
under his watch.
Fair. I mean, I would also say like
started out rocky though.
It's been rocky, and also I don't know how much blame he gets for this, but the regional sports model that is completely evaporated under his watch. Like the Padres went from getting $60 million in TV to having no TV deal, and this is like this huge, massive issue for the sport.
Yeah,
he actually commented on it this week. How like local television is, I mean, it's a huge issue.
The problem.
And there's a zillion other things with Manfred. I mean, he gets booed ridiculously everywhere he is, as most commissioners do. But listen, I've never heard praise like this for Rob Manfred. This is A-Rod today on the Herd.
I agree with you. I'm a big Rob Manfred fan, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. Little single-handedly, I mean, with the changes he's made the last 2 or 3 years to really save our game, he probably belongs in Cooperstown. But the reason why I like this, Colin, technology's made the game better. Anytime you make players and umpires more accountable, it's a great thing. Going back 10 years, that strike you see right there on the screen, 83% of the time, the umpires were getting it right. 10 years ago. Today, that number's ballooned to 97%. So it's a much better quality, much better game, much better accuracy. All those things are good. Now, the application of it, we have to go see how it works I know they've been doing it in the minor leagues. I am really looking forward to tonight to see how that plays out, because I'm a little bit on the fence, but I'm more pro because I think Rob Manfred deserves some credit. He's built some equity here over the last 3 or 4 years with his changes. And I think the game has the gift and the curse of being so married to their history. I think some of the other leagues have really pushed the envelope.
He does get credit. Cooperstown, that's a bit too much there. No way in hell. But he does deserve credit for some things. And you know where all that credit will be lost is if this thing goes to a lockout here in a couple of years. He will lose all of the goodwill that he has gotten over the last couple of seasons.
And honestly, here's the other thing, and I'm fine with giving him credit for like the pitch clock or ABS. Who's to say it wouldn't have happened under any commissioner? He's pushing the wishes of ownership. He's not like, hey guys, I got an idea. Let's put a pitch clock in the game. That's far from the truth. He's pushing initiatives that are coming from ownership. It's as simple as that. I mean, again, it's the pitch clock has been celebrated by and large because the games are now fitting in 3-hour windows. You don't have to watch 4 hours for baseball anymore, which is a good thing. But again, is it being reflected? Here's my question for the praise. Is the shortening of baseball games introducing the sport to a wider audience? Mm-hmm. Is it creating more stars in the sport? Is the appeal of the game greater?
Well, numbers across the board are all up. It's hard to argue that.
I mean, the home run derby was up from last year 5% and is down from 2023, 2022, 2021.
I'm not talking about the home run derby.
Then what's up? Sunday Night Baseball?
I'm talking about all games across the board.
Is that
for
accurate?
Baseball on national television? Yeah.
I need the data.
It's up.
Okay.
Across the league, ratings are up. But again, if in a couple years this thing goes to a lockout, and he said something last week which is concerning, where he wants to try to get a salary cap in place. That will never happen in baseball. Not with the players union. That will never, especially with the contracts that are being given out. I mean, if you're giving out $750 to $800 million contracts, there's never going to be a players union that agrees to a salary cap.
But we're the ones that criticize owners for not spending, where in turn,
so make a floor.
Well, you could do both.
Well, you could do both, but what's more likely, a floor or a ceiling?
Well, I don't know, but I do know this, that NFL, NHL, NBA have a cap, right? So like, is it that crazy to institute one to, kind of like make it more of now, maybe it won't make it a level playing field, to your point, because if you cap it at 200, that doesn't mean the A's are going to spend more than 20. But in the NBA and the NFL, there's a floor with the cap. Whenever I hear cap, I'm thinking floor too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a floor would be very good for the game. I think a cap would be good for the game, truthfully. With the floor, I mean, I think it works in the NBA. I think it works in the NFL. Why couldn't it work in Major League Baseball? We always blame the owners for that. How much of this is on the players?
Well, the players and their agents, Scott Boras in particular, is driving this thing to make sure that the players get as much money as possible. And I agree that the owners that don't spend, like John Fisher and whoever's the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Marlins, like there has to be something put in place where those teams have to spend some money, because you can't just have 3, 4, 5 teams in your entire sport spending the most money and everyone else just saying, you know what, we're not going to do it. You need to have some type of plan in place, or at least some type of floor in place where every team has to spend a certain amount of money going forward. A ceiling, though, I understand why not have both. I just don't see that when guys are getting $750 million contracts. If there's a ceiling, those go away.
But they make $700 million in the NFL and the NBA.
No, they don't.
Sure they do.
Patrick
Mahomes is going to make $500 million. The Shea Gilgeous deal for 3 years or 5 years is way more per year than anyone in the history of Major League Baseball.
But there's the cap makes it so only those players can get the money, and then they can't do that with 4 or 5 other players on the team. The Dodgers have how many guys on the team making $200+ million?
So isn't that where a cap could be beneficial to?
It could be beneficial, but do you think the players union is going to agree to that?
I'm just saying, I mean, if they could do it in the NFL and they can do it in the NBA and they can do it in the NHL, isn't it something to at least consider?
I think if they consider it, it will be a doomsday situation for baseball.
Which again, I'm fine with. Thankfully, in San Diego, they spend money. But like, imagine being a fan of the Pirates or a fan of the like. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of where in a sport you can have the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. Now, maybe that happens in baseball. There's been, it's not like it's the same team that wins the World Series every year. It's hard to win in the postseason. But I'm a fan of, not the complete leveling of a playing field. If you're a bad organization, you're a bad organization. The Browns don't spend less than the Chiefs. They just suck. The Jags don't spend less than I like the idea of the playing field being level and let the best ownership groups and front offices and players rise to the top.
And you're right. There are players in the NBA. Steph Curry, he's getting paid like $60 million a year. But you know what that does to the rest of their roster? Does not give them any flexibility to go out and get the necessary players to put around him.
Good.
In baseball, okay, I get that. But in baseball, if a team, if there's a cap in place and the Mets, right, they paid Juan Soto all this money.
Right.
Well, they can't go and get any pitchers now. They can't get any other position players. It's like they spent all their money on Juan Soto, eating up like 60% of their cap. Well, they aren't going to agree to that. I don't feel like.
No, I don't think they will either. But I'm saying if you could do it in other sports, is at least something that could be.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think what I'm saying, I would like if there was a cap in baseball. I just don't see that happening with the players union being who they are. I just don't see that happening. And if the commissioners and Rob Manfred pushes for a salary cap, it will end in disaster.
And then you're saying that it'll be Manfred that is the one that looks like he is to blame, as opposed to the players for not.
Yes, and all the goodwill that he has built up over the last couple of years for having guys like Alex Rodriguez saying he should be in Cooperstown will completely be gone.
I would agree with that. Are you pro or anti a salary cap in baseball? 70470, start it with team, or 877-767-4760. You're going to hear from Kevin Acee coming up at 3:30. We're here until 6. It's Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Be listening for that Superman theme song when you hear it. Open the iHeartRadio app. Search for San Diego Sports 760. Click that little microphone icon. Tell us your favorite superhero. You got to do that within 5 minutes of hearing the song. Then you're automatically entered for 2 free single-day badges at Comic-Con 2025. Also, the iHeartRadio Music Festival back. Live performances by Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, and more. September 19th and 20th, T-Mobile in Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets at AXS.com. Get them out before they sell out. So I'm looking at Atlanta weather.
Let me guess.
Because the
Not
All-Star
great.
game is in Atlanta.
Yes.
Thunderstorms this evening.
Oh, nice.
Then skies turning partly cloudy after midnight.
Okay.
Chance of rain 70%. Now, the reason they scheduled the All-Star game for a Tuesday and the next regular season game is on a Friday is they do leave 1 day of wiggle room. So if there was, I believe I'm correct in saying this, if there was no game because of weather, they would play it tomorrow because there's no Major League Baseball game until Friday. But can you imagine that? Again, you're talking about the East, where weather is always an issue in the summer, the Southeast specifically. Maybe it'll be perfectly fine. With thunderstorms, it's kind of like you either dodge the bullet or you don't. So maybe it's going to be perfectly fine. But 70% chance of thunderstorms tonight in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Where's Atlanta?
No, no, I was wondering where the All-Star game is going to be for the next couple of seasons. So 2026,
okay,
2027.
Do you know how you can find that?
The internet?
Right.
Right. I typed in.
What is the All-Star game?
Yeah. MLB All-Star Game 2026 through 2027.
I want to say next year, and I could be dead wrong.
Philadelphia?
It's Philly because it's the 250th anniversary of our country.
Yeah, Philadelphia in 2026. I don't know 2027.
That's all they have announced at MLB.com.
Because there's a story that came out today that Oracle Park in San Francisco is the front runner to host the 2028 All-Star Game.
Oh, interesting. They've had one, presumably, ever?
2007.
So they've had one in that ballpark.
I think Chris Young started that game.
Okay.
For the National League. Ichiro won the MVP that year. I think that was Bonds' last All-Star game. They honored Willie Mays.
Where do you think 2027?
Well, it would have to be...
It has to be American League. This is national. Philadelphia's national. San Francisco's national.
And the reason why this year is Atlanta, because Atlanta got...
They pushed it back.
Canned a couple years ago
because of a law...
Political reasons?
Yeah, basically political reasons. Because of a law, and then I don't even know it, and I'm not getting into it. But they pushed it back from 2021 to 2025.
So next year, or sorry, not next year, but 2027 would be a American League ballpark.
Right? I would presume it would be an American League ballpark. Of course, it hasn't been that long since it's been in San Diego. That's the issue with All-Star games. Mm-hmm. You have so many teams. You're basically getting one every generation.
You know what I'm worried about for the 2027 All-Star game?
What are you worried about? Don't be worried.
Is that
it's okay?
Rob Manfred. Well, first off, we don't even know if there's going to be a 2027 season.
Relax. There's going to be a season.
Well,
John Schaefer guarantee.
Okay.
You know how this works. They don't play. It's never going to happen. Then opening day's tomorrow.
I hope so, man. I hope you're right.
That's what happened last time.
It's going down a path where you're like, oh, this is not good.
I agree, but we'll worry about that another day.
Okay, so if there's a 2027 season,
which seems likely,
you know what I'm worried Rob Manfred is going to do?
No.
He's going to award the All-Star game because it needs to be an American League ballpark.
Okay, where are you going with this?
The Las Vegas A's.
Oh, that's awful. And so, no, it's not, their ballpark's not done.
Well, they started construction, or at least they have started. Dude, they've broke ground on their site.
We're gonna be there tomorrow. You were there last weekend. I'm gonna go to that site. It's gonna be dirt.
So
it's not done in 2 years.
You don't think so?
Are we alive?
No, it's not. They're not even scheduled. Google that. Again, this is a Google thing. When is the A's ballpark done in Vegas? Okay, let's see.
What, 2029?
They hope to have it completed in time for the 2028 season.
Okay,
they ain't gonna play the All-Star game in a half built.
Well, that's what I didn't.
But you bring up a good point. I mean, it's coming.
It's coming.
Once that's done,
and
2029.
John Fisher is the worst owner in all of professional sports.
They're gonna make him look like a hero.
Ahead of Dean Spanos. Exactly. They're gonna parade that guy around, and his ballpark's gonna get paraded around.
Yep.
It will come.
Absolutely.
Las Vegas has turned into a sports hub of everything. UFC, the Super Bowl, NBA. Now baseball, Like it is everything is gonna happen. WWE, the WrestleMania, they're going back there to Vegas this year. They were just in Vegas last year for WrestleMania.
Do you know what the capacity is of the athletics ballpark in Las Vegas?
31,000.
It's listed as 33.
Okay.
I want to say the smallest right now. Baseball's around 40.
No, because I think Miami has.
Well, they don't open the upper deck. But I think if it was, what's the capacity of Marlins ballpark? It's a fair point. It might be under 40.
It has to be under 40.
By the way, here's baseball announcing today that if Tampa is in the postseason, they will play postseason games at Steinbrenner Field, the spring training home of the Yankees, and that would include up to and through the World Series.
It's hard for me to have a definitive strong take on that because it was a natural disaster.
No, I agree. But isn't that interesting? You could have, I don't know if we will, or the Rays really going to be in the World Series, but if they're
good. They're a good
That's
team.
what I'm saying. If they're playing in a 9,000 seat or whatever it is, 12,000 seat stadium in the World Series.
How much do you think tickets would go for? Thousands and thousands.
The
and
Rays
thousands.
are probably half full. No, I'm kidding.
But still, I can't get mad at that or be like, what is baseball doing? This is a joke.
I agree with you.
Because it was a natural disaster. Mother Nature, you can't predict it. So,
but I mean, that is interesting. Where will the 2027 Major League All-Star Game be? I'd have to look at the last.
Where I was going with this
is it's going to Vegas at some point, and the athletics will be celebrated. That's how it works. Rob Manfred works for these people.
Mm-hmm.
John Fisher's one of the 30 people he works for. That's just how the world works. Guess what? Dean Spanos will probably have some award named after him at some point. I mean, the commissioner of the NFL works for Dean Spanos, not the other way around. It sucks. You know what I mean? Like the losers are the fans. Oakland, San Diego, and the Chargers example. St. Louis and the Rams example, and so on and so forth, right? That's how it works.
So if they do go National League, American League, National League, American League, 2030 would be the next time that a National League ballpark would host the All-Star Game.
That'd be 22 years after.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
No, when was the last time I was in San Diego?
2016.
I said 22 years. Now my math is yours. That'd be 14 years. No, not even close. Because you got to give people a fair handshake. How could you get one within 14 years when there's 30 teams? That's very hard to do.
You can't have it at every ballpark.
No, you're right.
Miami or
that's true. But I don't know how quickly you can move up the
Tampa.
line. That's true. But can you move past? I'm making it up. The St. Louis's and the Washington Nationals are like there's I think an order to it.
Well, when do you think the All-Star Game will return to San Diego?
The year was 2016. 2016. I'll say by 2036. 20 years after, which I think is fairly quick.
Okay.
But I get your point. I think we'll get there, but I still feel like we're maybe a decade. I think we're 5, 6, 7, 8 years away.
Well, everybody that comes to Petco in San Diego always raves about it and loves it. And every year that the winter meetings are in San Diego, everybody we talk to says the same thing. Why don't we have this here every year? When the All-Star Game was here, and of course, Eric Hosmer won the All-Star Game MVP that season. Will Myers did not do well in the home run derby, but what did everybody say? Why don't we have the All-Star Game here every year? It is just a perfect location, perfect weather, perfect ballpark, perfect amenities. It's just all perfect. Now, hopefully they fix up the convention center and everything, but still, everything in San Diego for an event like the All-Star Game, it's perfect.
What do you got, Brent?
Ballparks with the smallest capacity that aren't Oakland or Tampa Bay. The smallest would be Progressive Field in Cleveland. It just holds about 34.5.
Wow. So they've shrunk that with renovations. That's interesting. All right, we're going to hear from Kevin Acee on the other side. We've got the wrap coming up at 4 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by Staples Stores. The MLB All-Star Game is tonight in Atlanta. Manny Machado starting at third base for the National League, hitting fifth tonight in the lineup. The four other Padres in the game: Adrian Morejon, Jason Adam, Robert Suarez, and Fernando Tatis Jr. And we talked about today on the show already, but San Diego FC and forward Milan Olowski have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. 25-year-old scored 10 goals in 14 matches this year for SDFC. How many times have we all said that was easy? Well, the Staples Easy button is back, and it's got everyone saying it again for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos, plus quality products delivered next day to over 98% of the U.S. Staples. That was easy.
All right, we're getting ready for the All-Star Game. If you missed Kevin Acee yesterday, he was with us. I think he'll be back with us tomorrow. I don't know if he's traveling.
Well, he's scheduled to join us tomorrow. So
yeah, it's a good point. So I don't care if he's traveling.
Sorry, Kev. Sorry, Ace.
Move your flight for Jon and Jim. Anyway, we start our conversation asking about not one, not two, but three Padres relievers in the All-Star Game. His reaction.
I think it's great. I think that it shows obviously the depth of their bullpen. And what I think is great is, while look, Adrian Morejon was a replacement, and so was Robert Suarez, and we've gotten to the point where, like, some of these replacements, it's made it a little ridiculous sometimes, where like there's 40 All-Stars in each league or something. But like, the thing about the relievers that I think is interesting for the Padres is that, like, Adrian Morejon could have been their first reliever. Like, he could have been Jason Adam, the one who was voted in by players. Like, all three of those guys, there is zero question they deserve to be the guy. You could have considered Morejon a snub. I don't get too worked up over that. But like, they're really good. And I'm glad they get to do that, because there was a time when, you know, they were wondering how good the Padres bullpen is. And I'm sure there will be a time later in the season where they're wondering, but man, Morejon, of all the guys, I mean, gosh, what a career. And he's 26. Like, I told him today, you feel like you're older than I am. You've been around so long. And he, you know, he acknowledges it seems like a long time, since 2015 or whatever. But yeah, he's 26 and he kicks ass.
Yeah, Morejon and Adam, I feel like, are the two players you're the most excited about if you're a Padres fan, because first timer is always great, and then guys that have been with the organization for as long as Adrian Morejon has, and the ups and downs that he's gone through, and we've all seen it and been first hand experience here, to see him finally getting to a place where it shows how good he has been this year. It's just a great accomplishment. Kevin, what was your overall first, I guess, summary of the first half here after this weekend with the Padres?
If you had to go overall and looking forward, which I think is always very important, I say, pretty good. But yeah, this was so complicated. The incredible start. And for me, like, one of the big differences between, say, this year and last year, and as you compare that, what are they? They're 8 over now. They were 1 over at the All-Star break. They played a few more games at the All-Star break last year. But so they're 7 games better right now. But like, they didn't start last year like they started this year. So like, that's why we are all, and somewhat justifiably, like, well, but it seems disappointing. And sure, and there's lots of reasons we could point to that say, wow, there's some worrisome trends or whatever. I think it's important that they finished a little better. Let's not get carried away. Some better offensive approaches, some slightly better offensive numbers, slightly in some categories, and the bullpen's overall consistency. That I think it was a good first half, and I don't really see the argument that it wasn't, unless one is being entirely myopic and comparing. What we do is we compare teams to the 1927 Yankees. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We do not compare them to the other teams in the league. And if you compare to the other teams in the league, Padres are sitting pretty good.
Kevin Acee is our Padres insider, is joining us right now from Atlanta, where, again, the All-Star Game will be held tomorrow night, and the Home Run Derby will be held in a couple of hours. All right, let me ask this question. I'd love for you to like finish this sentence. If the Padres add this piece, they have a chance to go on a run in the second half like they did a year ago.
A right-handed bat that can bat fifth and provide the pop or somehow provide the slug in whatever capacity that is, the Padres can go very far. That was a run-on sentence, but there it is.
I like that.
So basically what you're saying is Jiren Durant, a left-handed bat that plays outfield and doesn't have much pop, right?
Well, yeah, he wouldn't solve all their problems, but like that guy is such a kick-ass player, and that like him, Merrill, Tatis.
Sure.
I just think that'd be a tough team on offense. Now, I want to caution everybody. You bring over, it's just hard. Look what Juan Soto didn't do here.
Right.
It's just hard. I still am always going to say, and I'm sorry I have to do this, and I'll keep doing it up to the trade deadline and beyond. Whatever they do at the trade deadline, their core players have to either in Manny Machado's case, to some extent in Tatis's case, if you take the totality of his first half, continue to do what they're doing, and some other guys have to be better.
And as much as you've dealt with AJ Preller and, seeing what he has gone through to get players that he wants, does it feel like, when he goes after a player, he'll try heaven and earth to get that person by any means necessary?
Right. And so I think you probably have in your mind Duran and I mean, the way that AJ and others in the organization have just, talked about this guy for years. Yes, he falls into that category, and it's almost like you can't believe he's not going to be here based on what AJ has done with players that he loves. That said, I mean, Red Sox are on a 10-game winning streak, and I don't know that they're going to be. But the Red Sox could be a seller and a buyer, right? Like they have players to play his position, but I don't know what the Padres have to give a team that wants to win now and kind of needs to win now, given all that's going on with the Red Sox this year. I don't know how that fits.
Do you have any idea their level of interest in, as we switch gears to like catcher, and obviously an upgrade is necessary, and we can get into Luis Campisano, although I think his role is more as DH than catcher, but like to make a true upgrade, when you talk about someone like a Sean Murphy, has that name come up in any of your reporting? I mean, here's another guy kind of like Durant. He's signed for a long time. He's a star at his position. He's a right-hander and would be just a massive upgrade, obviously, for the Padres at this point.
Massive. And the money could be a thing. I'm not even sure if they really know, if AJ really knows what he's operating with. They are 100% buyers. Like they are going to try to get better, but I'm not sure if they know exactly like what they can invest. Is it $5 more million that he would be owed this year, and then he's still under contract? I can't rule it out. And just like a little disclaimer on my reporting, not one of the national guys, and so like I hear a lot of things, but not until I have not heard Murphy. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I hear a lot of things. Not until I feel like it's super real will I write about it, because just putting rumors out there, I'm just not going to live that way. I wouldn't have time for the rest of my job. So to the fact that I haven't heard Murphy, I'm pretty confident that he's not on like a realistic possibility for the Padres. But it's AJ Preller, man. It's AJ Preller.
Looking bigger picture here, Kevin, AJ is not under a long-term contract. He is only signed through next year, and going out and getting a player like, say, Jarren Duran, hypothetically, it would cost a lot. And knowing that he's not under contract, does that have anything, or does that play any role in how he approaches this deadline from an organizational standpoint? If he goes to John or if he goes to whoever to ask about, hey, can we add some money here? Can we add some money here? But he's only under contract for next season, and he's not got any, at least that I've seen, any potential contract extension talks here. Like where does that play in this whole thing?
It's a really interesting question. I'm going to try to answer it the best that I can. That I have honestly come to believe about AJ that it doesn't matter what his status is. He's the same guy in terms of being a psycho for trying to improve the team that he is building. That, like, when it was a very real thing a couple times in his tenure that he could be gone, I don't think that he did anything different. And I think that like his history backs that up. The guy is always out of his mind, working all the time and trying to make the Padres better and being very aggressive and mortgaging the future. I don't think that has anything to do with his status. Now, his status is very interesting. He does not have Peter Seidler anymore, either basically leading him in a direction to spend money or saying yes to almost everything. So from the perspective of ownership, I don't know that AJ's contract status really matters at all either, because they're going to just do things a different way. And when I say that, like, they're still putting back what they make into the team, right? Like, they're not pocketing it, but like, it's also not going into crazy debt, which Peter was entirely willing to do to make that run. And so like, I'm not sure that his AJ status comes into it. AJ's status will increasingly become a story and become important, but I don't know that it plays into, I don't believe it plays into how he or ownership is approaching this deadline or team building.
Would you agree with this? Is it fair to say if the Padres are in the postseason, Preller would be extended, or there's a decent chance or a good chance he's extended? And if the Padres are out of the postseason, he would still be here and under contract for 2026. Is that how you would envision it? If it played out down one of those two paths, he's back with 1 year on his deal, or
read
he's
into
back.
this what you will. I read into this what you will, because I've begun reporting on it, and there's just not anything to report right now. But I can't confidently tell you any of that. I can't confidently answer any of that. So there's almost something to be read into that, maybe. But and all I mean there is that, hey, we don't know. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, AJ's going to get an extension if they go to the wild card round. And no, I don't know that. It's not like, oh, he's going to be fired if they don't get past the wild card round. I don't know that. I don't know if anyone does know that necessarily. There are people that think they do, but I can't answer that. And maybe that's, more fodder for you guys to talk about.
He is.
We will read into that,
we
Kevin.
will read into that, Kevin, for 3 hours. Actually, for 3 weeks. No.
I kept talking because I'm trying to take out all the things you can read into. But the fact is that there are things that can be read into that for sure. Like, versus, oh yes, he's already gotten the ironclad, vote of confidence, the one that you believe, not the one that comes before a firing. But no, there isn't that yet. But to be fair, there hasn't necessarily been a reason for that, and things have kind of been up in the air. I mean, remember, I don't know if it was the hot seat last year, like I think it was, but it was at least the warm seat last year. So we're only 1 year removed from that, and a lot of the issues that they have are still there. Like Xander Bogaerts' contract that, he shares, he shares some of the blame for that. So there's still a lot of the issues that are there. But he also has been very successful. I just think it's a fascinating when you start assessing AJ Preller's tenure. I just think it's fascinating.
The only more tenured general manager remaining, because Mike Rizzo was fired, is Brian Cashman, who's got 4 titles as GM, 1 as assistant GM. Has been there since 1998. All right. Great reporting and insight.
He also took over. I think it's unfair to compare the two.
They're not the
Yankees. He took over the Yankees.
Yeah, of course. The payroll, everything's different. Mike Rizzo was Mike Rizzo was also let go with a title in hand in 2019, but the rebuild took too long. Kevin, we appreciate it. Enjoy Atlanta. We'll do it again later in the week, and thanks for hopping on as always.
Right on. Take care.
All right, let's continue that conversation along the lines of the trade deadline. On the other side, here until 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. All right, the wrap coming up at 4 p.m. If you missed BJ Rain's Bronco Nation News, you'll hear a conversation. Mountain West football coming up in about 5 weeks. Media days tomorrow and Thursday in Vegas. We'll be there talking San Diego State college football. So join us tomorrow beginning at 2 p.m. And also chances to win Comic-Con badges all week long, including today. Be listening for that Superman sounder. We'll tell you how you can qualify to win. Would you characterize the Padres as about to make a trade? Would it be imminent?
Oh, it's imminent, John.
What AJ Preller is he about to strike?
Defined like
Imminent?
No, I know what imminent means.
No, but do you want me to define it seriously in this?
Sure.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like before July 31st
Yes.
at 3 p.m.
Is he
Eastern.
about to make a trade
Like in the next
couple
2
weeks?
weeks? Yeah.
Yes.
Is he going to make multiple over the next couple of weeks? I say yes.
My guess would be yes.
So I would characterize that as imminent. No, I don't think during the game tonight.
No, I think all major league teams are told, hey, you can't do anything during the MLB All-Star Game,
Hey,
guys.
Tatis, switch jerseys.
Hey, you've been traded.
No, I'm kidding. You're right. Nothing happens during All-Star break, but on the other side of it, things are going to start to heat up.
There have been moments in the past where Manny Machado, perfect example, 2018, when he got traded to the Dodgers. And that was a huge storyline at the All-Star Game.
Right.
He started at the time shortstop for the American League. He was a Baltimore Oriole. And remember, he took a picture with Matt Kemp at second base?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And everyone's like, oh, they're teammates now.
How about Soto? That was such a huge topic of conversation at the All-Star Game that year.
But trades don't happen during the game.
No.
They
don't happen the day of the game.
There might be players in the game that everyone knows, all right, he's going to get traded in a couple of weeks, but nothing happens during the game.
It's interesting you say that because there are a number of players that are going to appear tonight that will be dealt.
Yes.
You know?
Was it, I forget who it was. It might have been a basketball All-Star. It was Boogie Cousins who got traded like right after the All-Star game. I thought there was a baseball player, but it's actually Boogie Cousins that I was thinking of. Back to my point. Yeah, there's nobody in the game tonight that will be traded in like the third inning.
No, like Paul Skeens doesn't have to worry. I mean, by the way, Jeff Passan poured cold water on that. We played it 2 weeks ago. He's like, listen, he might be traded in the future. In fact, there's a very high likelihood he'll be dealt at some point, but as a second-year player with the Pirates, like there's no reason to expect Paul Skeens is going anywhere. It's these relievers to keep an eye on. Like when you see a reliever come into the game tonight that pitches for the Athletics,
could be traded.
That pitches for, name one of these teams that's 10 plus games under 500 right now.
Miami.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
though Miami doesn't have a reliever in the game, but
right.
Point.
That's kind of my point. So we shall see. Machado starting, Tatis coming off the bench. Jason Adam, I think you said Dave Roberts' quote is saying he's likely to pitch in the third inning here tonight.
Well, yes. Not the third inning, but
third pitcher.
Third pitcher. So I guess third inning.
I think it's probably the third inning. I don't think starters go 2 innings anymore.
And they want to get some relievers in the game early, and the starters maybe 1 inning later because they want to get they need to warm up a little more and they get their arm loose. But
I mean, would you be? I don't even remember. Like, do starters today go 2 innings and All-Star? They go 1.
No one goes more than an inning.
Yeah.
No. But,
so we'll see Skeens for an inning.
Yeah. But back to the imminent trade for AJ Preller.
Right.
He could trade for a former All-Star Game MVP.
Like Elias Diaz?
Not Elias Diaz, even though you're right. He is a former All-Star Game MVP.
Like Eric Hosmer?
No, not like Eric Hosmer. He's retired.
Right. Like whom?
Like Jiren Durant, who was the All-Star Game MVP just last year.
Yeah.
I was not an All-Star this year, but rumors are swirling that AJ is in love with this guy.
Enamored is what Dennis Lynn wrote yesterday.
That's the word. The more I think about it, John, and we'll talk about this for the next couple of weeks leading up to the deadline until something happens, I just still don't fully understand it.
Don't see it.
It could work. It could absolutely work. This guy's under control for next couple seasons. You have an outfield of Duran, Merrill, and Tatis. It's pretty good.
It's incredible.
But doesn't fix the issue with your catcher. Doesn't fix the issue with your bench piece. And bringing a catcher in the middle of the season, do you find that to be difficult? Or not? Or do you think it's interchangeable? Doesn't matter. You can bring a catcher in cold without really knowing the pitching staff, and nothing really will change. Or
it's like the Nola theory from a couple of years ago. I think you can do it. I think you gotta now. They prioritize defense for so long with this year's team with the catcher. It's time to pivot and prioritize offense, even if it is at the expense to some extent of something with your pitching staff, which I don't think ultimately it really will be.
I think if you trade for an inexperienced catcher,
sure,
it could change things and it could hurt how you operate in your pitching staff and the communication, because you'll need time to build that relationship. But I think if you go and trade for a veteran catcher, like a guy like Sean Murphy, it's not going to take long to get acclimated here with the pitching staff and know all the calls and everything. Like, I don't think that's going to be that big of a learning curve with somebody of Sean Murphy's caliber, how he's a vet in this league.
They need a new starting catcher. Simple as that. And they are likely to have one by August 1st. I can't wrap my mind around them doing this all year long with Diaz and Maldonado.
Is it weird that I can? Because of how stubborn Schultz is with his guys.
It's true. And listen, they're 52-44, and they are the way they win. We'll talk about this on the other side. Is this accurate? Someone replied to the wrap-up show last night that we did in the comments and said the Padres in 2024, when scoring 2 runs or less, which again, you're not going to be good when you score 2 runs or less. You're either winning 2-1 or 2-0 or 1-0, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're losing. He said they were 4-40, which, okay, you're going to suck scoring 2 runs or less. But this year, you've already mentioned it. They have 5 wins of 1-0.
But they're also 5-11 in
when scoring 1 run.
Yeah,
but that's incredible compared to 4-40.
When
scoring 2 runs or less. My point is, they are winning games with their defense first catchers, and they're doing it in unexpected ways, like 2-1, 3-2, and 1-0.
They're scoring a lot of games when they only score 1 run.
That's crazy.
But they're not. 5-11. That's not a good record.
It is when you're scoring 1 run.
But still, 5-11 is not a good record.
Better than 4-40. My point is, they're still.
But that was 4-40 with scoring 1 run or less.
2 runs or less.
Okay, well that's different. I'm talking about just 1 run. This team has scored 1 run 16 times this year
or less.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you're going to lose when you get shut out.
Yeah, you're not going to win when you don't score runs.
Yeah, no, 5-11 is the greatest record in baseball history when scoring 1 run or less.
It's still crazy to think that they've won 5 one-run games or 5 1-0 games this year.
That is unbelievable, is my point.
But at the same time, you can't. That's not sustainable.
I agree with you. All right, more on this on the other side. Okay, open the app. Click San Diego Sports 760. Tap that little red microphone, the talkback mic. Tell us your favorite superhero. You're automatically entered to win 2 free single-day badges to Comic-Con 2025 next weekend in San Diego. You got to do that, though, within the next 5 minutes. Open the app right now. Search San Diego Sports 760. Click the talkback mic. Tell us your favorite superhero while you're there. Put San Diego Sports 760 as your #1 preset in the app. You got 5 minutes to qualify to win 2 single-day badges to Comic-Con. The wrap next to kick off hour 3 of Jon and Jim. Stay with us.
This update is brought to you by Staples. The MLB All-Star Game is tonight in Atlanta. Manny Machado starting for the National League at third base tonight, hitting fifth in the lineup. Fernando Tatis Jr., Adrian Morejon, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez, the other four Padres in the All-Star Game. And moving over to SDFC, we talked about it earlier on the show, but SDFC and forward Milan Ilosky have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. We have quotes from head coach Mike Ybarra that will relay to you coming up here in a moment. The 25-year-old is returning to Europe. Milan had 10 goals in 14 matches this season for SDFC. How many times have we all said that was easy? Well, the Staples Easy button is back, and it's got everyone saying it again for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos, plus quality products delivered next day to over 90% of the U.S. Staples. That was easy.
It's Jon and Jim to warm up that drive home.
Milan Ilosky, who had 10 goals for SDFC in 14 matches, his loan is up. He's heading back to Europe. A San Diegan who starred in Major League Soccer is leaving SDFC.
This was just what it was, which was he was going to be here for a certain amount of time. Once his loan ends, he will be going back to his club. I don't think anybody saw him just like exploding like he did. He has literally won this team games this year by himself.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim. We will get to the wrap shortly. We do have that quote from the head coach at SDFC, Mike Ybarra, on Milan Ilosky, whose loan is over and heading back to Europe, as Jim just said. We also have breaking news. You know, the Pac-12 and Mountain West went to mediation to resolve their court cases. They did not do that, and they are headed to court. No resolution via a 60-day mediation. I don't think that means it's over, but as of now, there's a court date set for September 9th. So that drama will be in Vegas tomorrow. That story will play out. That will continue to play out. No mediation as of yet. The two sides are heading to court with the court date being set for September 9th of this year. The quote here from Mike Ybarra's head coach at SDFC is this on the loan. We worked diligently to make it long-term with Ilosky. We couldn't come to an agreement. We wanted to respect Milan's wishes to go test himself back in Europe. We support Milan and we want nothing but the best for him. That from Mike Ybarra's head coach of SDFC.
Okay, so read into that a little bit.
But they tried to keep him. Right?
Absolutely.
He said, we worked diligently to make it long term.
And this was between the club and Milan.
Yeah,
it wasn't between the club SDFC and his club in Europe. It was between Milan, the player, and the club here in San Diego. But you read the quote there. He wants to go to Europe. He wants to go to Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I get it. Like that's if that's where you test yourself.
Or there might be more money.
Yeah,
more
money.
Yeah,
maybe maybe bigger opportunity to play for a club in Europe.
Yeah, bigger stage potentially
for sure. So I can't knock him for wanting to do that, for wanting to go back to Europe, using what he did here for SDFC and giving himself some leverage potentially to make more money in Europe, because I don't think whatever SDFC was offering him potentially would have been the same as what he's going to get in Europe. He's probably going to get more, you would think.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a bummer, no doubt about it. I mean, if you're an SDFC fan out there today, it's like, wait, what? One of the best stories with the club, one of the best stories in all of MLS is now gone.
Yeah, I think the reason to me it's more of a bummer is that, yes, this loan process plays out throughout the world. So that's completely fair and reasonable. It's just that the two sides tried to work something out and couldn't come to an agreement. That's fine. That completely makes sense. I just hope it doesn't impact SDFC's ability to win and win at a high level. That's the bummer to me. You got a guy who has starred for you that's no longer going to be starring for you. So that, to me, is a loss, but hopefully it can be overcome, maybe with a move or with the play of the club. But you're losing a guy that led MLS in goals per minute this year. All right, we'll have more on that over the next couple of hours. Do you want to get to this, Brent, or what do we got?
Real quick, before we went to break in the last segment, you talked about the Padres record when they scored two runs less. I didn't go back to last year, but just this year, they are 11-22
They
in
only
games.
had 4 wins last year when scoring 2 runs or less. They have 11 this year.
Well,
That's
they have
amazing.
to have that many wins this year because the team doesn't score a lot of runs.
But I'm saying it's amazing that they're winning with these catchers is the point. And these catchers are calling games when they're winning by scoring 2 runs or less.
Yeah, I know. But still, they
extend them.
There's a lot of room for improvement.
No doubt. I know.
Run it back.
It's crazy. They have 11 wins scoring 2 runs or less. Let's get to it.
Because of the bullpen.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Who's going to win tonight's All-Star game?
I'm going to go with the National League. Got to stay hometown here with the Padres. I'll go National League 4, American League 2. How about that? Robert Suarez closes the game out tonight.
These have been low scoring over the last decade or two. I think the total in this game is 7.5, implying either 7 or 8 runs scored. The National League is overly due. I think they're 1-10 in their last 11 games. This game is in Atlanta. I agree with Jim. I think they break out in a big way. I think the National League scores 7 runs tonight.
7?
7. I think Machado has a hit.
Tariq Skubal?
No, because he's only going to pitch an inning.
I know.
But I think the National League scores 7 runs. I think Machado has a base hit. I think Tatis walks.
Okay.
I think the Padres relievers appear, and I think they win 7-4 tonight in Atlanta.
Some scoring tonight
Yes.
in Atlanta. A rainy, drizzly night in Atlanta, Georgia.
With runs.
All right.
The Tatis walk. Stay tuned. Next question.
I've been saying the National League my whole life, and we always lose, by the way, so the American League will win.
Yeah.
True, that's true.
Yep.
Is Cal Raleigh winning the home run derby a top 10 moment in Mariners history?
Well, let's think.
What has happened? The 116 win team.
116 wins.
The Yankees. The
I think
yeah, that's the most.
Griffey scoring the winning run on Edgar Martinez is doubled when Griffey was on first. I think that's the greatest moment in Mariners history.
It
Has
is.
to be.
In the Kingdom.
That just watching that, even if you're not a Mariners fan,
That's a great baseball.
just go back and watch that moment with Edgar Martinez with Griffey on first against the Yankees, and you just watch how fast Griffey is rounding the bases. It is incredible to watch that moment. I mean, it's up there. Other than that, what else you got in Mariners? It's
Well, Griffey,
Ichiro.
Ichiro's cycle in the All-Star game.
Well, I think Ichiro, his
career
rookie season where he won Rookie of the Year and MVP in that season.
250 hits or something.
Did he reach 3,000 hits in his career? Or
He had to.
Okay, so 3,000 hit for Ichiro.
But I would say Griffey winning the home run derby. I mean, we were talking about a moment. Is that like, if we're talking about a moment, I go to the Kingdom. I don't know Mariners history, but if you're talking about a moment, Randy Johnson, 4,000 strikeouts.
Yeah, no. Okay. So here's the top 2 moments, no question about it. It's Griffey scoring that game-winning run against the Yankees, and it's Ichiro's 3,000th hit.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Well, it's hey, I'm not a Mariners fan, but
right.
In Mariners history, those are the top 2 moments. You can put everything else.
Cal Raleigh.
And then the 116-game win season. So those are the top 3. And the home run derbies, who cares?
I'm with you. I'm just saying 116 games, like that's not a moment.
Well, even if we're just talking home run derbies, would you put this above like Ken Griffey Jr. hitting that building in Camden Yards?
The warehouse.
Probably not, no. I wouldn't even put it above some of Griffey's amazing catches he's made.
But it still could fit in the top 10 is our point. Because we've only listed like 5 things. Next question.
When will San Diego get another All-Star game?
2030. Wait, hold on. So 25. 2035? 2036?
Way before, and I'll tell you why. Way before.
Oh, you got some inside info?
Yeah. MLS. They'd be due for an MLS All-Star game. So when we're talking about San Diego, I think the next All-Star game in San Diego.
Major League Baseball, dude.
Oh, you wrote I thought you were saying San Diego.
I
said baseball?
I'm talking about baseball.
Oh, not until, I'm with mid-2030s at the earliest. I think when it comes to SDFC, I bet it could be in the next 2 or 3 years.
MLS All-Star game would be
pretty cool. It's
fun.
in Charlotte next year. They haven't announced beyond
Hopefully it happens soon, because then you finally could get Messi here in San Diego.
First one where that's available would be 2027. I don't know if we'll still be playing. I think, but I know I'm with you on that. But yeah, mid 2030s, I'm with you on baseball. I think we could see Major League Soccer well before that. Next question.
I just saw in the chat line too. Someone said King Felix's perfect game for the Mariners.
Oh yeah, that's a good
would
one.
be on the list too. So.
Again, we're not the biggest Mariners fans here. So.
I'm not putting a perfect game over Cal Raleigh last night. Give me a break. Next question.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Who's going to win All-Star Game MVP for Major League Baseball All-Star Game?
Oh,
yes.
To be specific, I guess.
Not MLS.
There's so many All-Star games happening right now.
Not the WNBA All-Star Game.
No. Is that even
Caitlin?
It's next week, I think.
That's next week?
Yeah.
She did announce that she's doing the 3-point contest, which is awesome.
I hope she makes them at a better clip as she does in the regular season.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So
it's going to be some rando player.
Probably.
They're like, who? Like, who's the Marlins All-Star? Like,
right.
Like he's that guy's going to win.
It's funny.
The All-Star Game MVP tonight. There's it's always some rando, unless in the first couple innings here you get one of the big names like Ohtani or Judge or Manny have like a home run, then they're the front runners for the MVP, and you just got to make sure those teams win for them to win the MVP award.
Well, remember, Ty goes to a Brave, so if Acuna does anything, the Ty's going to go to a Brave because it's in Atlanta. So if Acuna,
he can't just have like a single. He's got to have like a big moment.
Ty goes to the Brave.
Both if
he drives in a run and that's the most runs driven in,
then yes.
You know
okay.
That's what I'm just saying. Like again, they who else is on this team from Atlanta? This bad year.
Olsen.
I'm with you though. I say some rando. Who'd you say is with the Marlins, Brent?
Kyle Stowers.
He's actually having a good season.
He's the MVP.
293, 19 homers, 54 ribbies.
Or the Rockies catcher.
Could use him.
Rockies catcher we talked about with 17 home runs this year.
Goodman.
Yeah. Hunter Goodman.
Who's I was gonna say who's the All-Star for Pittsburgh, but it's always gonna be Paul Skeens.
Right.
Pitcher could win. I mean, if you get Terry Skubal or Paul Skeens strike out the side in the first inning there and their respective teams win, they're the MVPs potentially.
Absolutely. All right, stay tuned. We're about an hour out from the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. BJ Rain's Bronco Nation News. If you missed it earlier, we'll hear some of that conversation coming up at 4:30. There is some breaking Pac-12 Mountain West news that we will touch on over the course of the next 2 hours as well. Plus, we're keeping up with the Padres at the break and at the deadline. Stay with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday. It's the Bonus Bucks giveaway. Listen for the keyword, enter it at sportssd.com. Next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 5 p.m. on San Diego Sports 760. If you missed BJ Rain's Bronco Nation News, will get us ready for Mount West Media Days tomorrow in Vegas, Thursday as well. We will be there, Jim.
Oh, yes, we will.
I don't know if you realize that.
I was just in Vegas.
And you will be back beginning tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 2 p.m. We have the Comic-Con badges that we're giving away today. We'll give those away tomorrow and Thursday as well. We'll talk to Aztec players. We will speak with the commissioner of the Mount West tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Mount West and the Pac-12 are in court. And 5 of the 12 schools are leaving next year. Nearly half the league is going from this ballroom at Circa to presumably another ballroom in Las Vegas in 2026.
Maybe that's why the Wi-Fi doesn't work. BJ Rains earlier today
Wi-Fi
saying,
only works for the 7 teams that are staying.
Right. Boise.
San Jose State it works for.
Yeah, Boise, San Diego State, Colorado State,
Fresno Utah State.
Yeah.
Those ducked in a corner.
Yeah, we don't have any Wi-Fi.
That's hilarious. I mean, listen, when the Pac-12, as we knew it with Oregon and Washington and others, dissipated, so to speak, they also had a media day. And that league that year was really good. If you go back 2 years ago, the Pac-12 that year with Michael Penix was at quarterback. And there were some great teams in the Pac-12 a couple of years ago. Realignment is a name of the game. It's just been going on for forever. That includes now the Mountain West of the Pac-12. And it's just part of it. Is it a little awkward in 2025? Yeah, I think it's a little awkward. And then in 2026, it's just a little different, truthfully.
And we went to Pac-12 Media Day last year with just Oregon State and Washington State.
Right.
It was a very intimate setting, but it was fun because we got invited. Shout out to Josh Ishu. And
it was great food.
We were just like, hey, we just showed up. I was eating a lot of the food because it was the little bite-sized stuff.
Oh, so good.
And I'm just just shoving stuff in my mouth.
That was before we knew that San Diego State was going to join Oregon State and Washington State. That actually came out in September of that year.
Yeah, we did not know that.
Yeah, because that was July, August. Yeah. So 2 months before we learned.
What
San
hotel
Diego
was
State.
that at? Caesars?
It was actually at Bellagio.
It
was actually at the Bellagio.
Upgrade.
We went there, and then after there, we went to see Team USA take on Team Canada in the ramp up for the Olympics that they won in Paris.
Standing room only. We stood the entire time.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I think who played very well in that game for the U.S. I think Steph hit a couple threes in that game, didn't he?
He did. I think Anthony Edwards played really well.
Yeah. Wasn't it a good game for 3 quarters? Seriously, they didn't run away from him.
No, it was because Team Canada had Shea, had Dylan Brooks, had RJ Barrett, Jamal Murray.
Yep.
And I forget who was just torching Team USA on Team Canada. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I remember that too.
He's an NBA. What's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. And then Team USA pulled away there in the end. But Team Canada versus Team USA, that was awesome. Now, Summer League will be in Vegas still.
We're not doing that, are we?
No, we don't have time.
We could go tomorrow night, but it's a risky proposition.
I saw videos of LeBron just walking around the casino floor of either the Bellagio or Caesars.
Was he looking for us?
He was looking for me. He knew I was there to watch the Backstreet Boys. So.
Right. He was looking for you to be like, dude, why are you hating on me? You're the one guy.
Me?
Of all the people nationally that
I'm the one
sports,
guy?
He was looking for you.
Okay.
You're so anti. You're not really that anti-LeBron.
I'm not really that anti-LeBron.
But you're not pro.
I'm not very pro, no.
I mean, there's a lot of...
When your favorite player is Steph Curry, it's hard to be
pro LeBron.
Yeah.
Although don't LeBron and Steph truthfully have a very good actual relationship?
Define good relationship. Like cordial?
Oh, is it only cordial? Because they've played together so often. For example, would it be All-Star or Olympic? Well, I guess Olympic was only one time.
They're not hanging out.
Well, I know they're not hanging out.
They don't hate each other either.
Yeah,
they don't hate each other. They're cordial. They have respect for each other for sure. They don't have any about
a desire even to play with each other. I mean, that's been mentioned before.
Hey, maybe it could happen. I mean, Lakers trying to push out LeBron here. According to reports.
Curry to the Lakers. What would you do? What would you do? I know it's not happening. What would you do if that happened?
I mean, I'd be very upset. I don't know.
Would you lose your mind?
Yes. I don't know what else. What else would I do?
I know you're not going to like it. Right. I mean, there's only so many things.
Like I'm going to drive to Los Angeles.
I'm going to protest.
And I'm going to go outside the Staples Center or crypto. And I'm going to hold a sign up that says, I denounce my fandom of Steph Curry.
The difference is Curry has spent his whole career there.
He's not
it's much more likely one day LeBron isn't in LA than Steph Curry is.
LeBron doesn't have an allegiance. LeBron's only allegiance is to himself.
And Bronny.
Yeah. Yeah. Wherever LeBron goes, Bronny goes. Theoretically.
Package deal.
Potentially
for the last year of LeBron's career.
LeBron can make a nice bench piece on the Warriors. They need some help on the bench.
Never say never.
He can be the new Iguodala.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He could be the sixth man of the year.
The sixth man, exactly.
He's never won a sixth man award, so there we go.
Jordan never won a sixth man. He'll do it.
Exactly. Either is Steph.
Well,
so bring him to LA.
I think LeBron cares more about his legacy than most people do. And to win a six-man award, you can shove that in Jordan's face.
We're getting you ready for the All-Star Game. BJ Rain's Bronco Nation News on the other side will get us ready for Mountain West Media Days. We'll be there in Vegas. We are here until 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, if you are maxed out on credit cards or struggling with high interest debt, you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. It is Schaefer. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. There are no appraisals or waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto, it's truly amazing. One Loan Pronto client recently got $300,000 approved in under a day. They paid off debt, renovated a kitchen, cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. Just a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates without a hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity, it's yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Call now to start the conversation. Here's the number, 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
This update is brought to you by Payday. All-Star Game in Atlanta tonight. Manny Machado will be the starter at third base for the National League, hitting 5th in the lineup for their Padres in the All-Star Game. Fernando Tatis Jr., Adrian Morejon, Robert Suarez, and Jason Adam. And moving over to SDFC news of the day, the club and forward Milan Orlovsky have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. Orlovsky in 14 matches this year scored 10 goals for the club. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is definitely working hard for you, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it.
All right, if you missed it earlier, BJ Rains, he covers Boise State for Bronco Nation News. Mountain West Football Media Day is Wednesday and Thursday, so media days. Now, this conversation took place before we learned that mediation between the Mountain West and the Pac-12 didn't work, and they're heading to court in September. But we started the conversation asking if that's the biggest storyline, the fallout from the departures of San Diego State, Boise State, 3 other schools for the Pac-12 beginning in 2026.
Well, it's going to be me ticked off if this Wi-Fi doesn't start working here in the media room. I'll tell you that.
Okay, us too.
Trying to set up our cameras and stuff, and it's not going well so far. But yes, I would say it's got to be. I mean, I hate to take the cliche, easy way out answer, but yeah, it's got to be the whole deal with the lawsuits and the switching conferences and the fact that nearly half these teams that are going to be here will not be here next year, and so 5 teams are leaving and there's, some schools, including San Diego State and Boise State, that just put out pretty terse statements in the last week against the Grand Canyon edition. And so, I think you're talking about some really unhappy people and the chance for some fireworks. And it's going to be very curious what Gloria Navarez says tomorrow in her opening address. Does she come out swinging? Does she play it by the book and that she be lawyered up and have all of her talking points and then play it safe, or what happens? Because some of these schools have been pretty vocal about this. And so I know Jeremiah Dickey, the Boise State athletic director, is going to be here and doing interviews on Thursday and tomorrow afternoon as well. And some of the other athletic directors will be here. So I do think it's very curious what tone they take here. And do they play nice or do they come out swinging? I think unfortunately, you'd like to be talking football. You'd like to be talking, standings and things like that. But there's really no way around it this year. This is the overarching thing is these 5 teams leaving and this litigation and these exit fees and all this stuff. I think it's going to be this big dark cloud. But for guys like you and me, I mean, it's going to make for fun interviews and fun couple days.
Yeah, there definitely is a chance of fireworks in Vegas this week. BJ, when you look on the field last year, Boise State, magical run to the college football playoff. Ashton Genty finishing runner-up in the Heisman. Should have won the Heisman. But when you look at this year on the field, Boise and the rest of the Mountain West Conference currently, how big is the gap there, in your opinion, between Boise and the rest of the schools in the Mountain West Conference this year?
Well, I think Boise State here at Circa is minus 125 to win the Mountain West. And when you look at some of the other playoff teams and things like that, I mean, it's not even really close in terms of the gap for Boise State and the rest of the league. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy. You lose an Ashton Genty, and yet people aren't that concerned with the running game with some of the other running backs that they have waiting in the wings and, what they have across the board. And so, I think this will be, I think, guys, the 18th year in a row. I think 18 or 19. I think it's 18 years in a row that Boise State will be picked to either win its division or win its conference, depending on the voting and depending on the league. So, I mean, it's pretty remarkable. 18-year run, the preseason favorites. And so that'll certainly continue. And I think they are pretty big favorites. But there's a couple other teams. I mean, San Jose State, I don't know if you guys looked at their schedule. They don't play the 3 toughest teams in the league this year. That's an interesting team for me to sneak into the championship game. Colorado State was close last year. And I don't think they lost to Fresno or somebody. And then if you Dan Mullen, I think it's a big wild card there. It wouldn't shock me if they go 10-2. It wouldn't shock me if they go 6-6 at UNLV. So I think there's some other teams that have a chance, but I think on paper, Boise State is the clear and heavy favorite here in their last year in the league.
BJ Rains covers Boise State, Bronco Nation News with us right now, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I'm curious to get your thoughts from afar on Sean Lewis entering year 2 in San Diego State. I mean, you think about the Boise-San Diego State short-lived football series. I'm not sure if it's a rivalry or not, but it's been a pretty well-contested series historically. I think all-time 10 games, and San Diego State has won 4 of the 10 games. From your seat, how important is San Diego State's success moving forward, specifically into the Pac-12, for just the viability of whether it's the Mountain West or the Pac-12 moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised to see their over-under is only like 4.5 this year because I actually like San Diego State, and I think that they're a team that it's kind of, and Boise State fans don't like me saying this, and for all your fans that think I always just talk negatively and don't like San Diego State, I actually think that they're a sleeping giant out there. I mean, we've seen what the basketball program has done, certainly, but with that new football stadium and that town you can recruit to and that city and the beach, and you get, what Sean Lewis did at Kent State, I think he was an excellent hire to come in there. And I know it takes some time, and obviously last year probably wasn't the year that anybody had hoped for, but whether it's this year or next year, I mean, I think they're primed to really take a step forward. And I really like Sean Lewis. I think he's going to do a strong job. And yeah, certainly it's important. They're one of the flagship programs in this league, and everybody can what runs the show and makes the money. And so you need every football team to do what they can to get back to, that kind of national level. But I actually really like the Sean Lewis hire. I think he's going to do a great job. I know they were 3-9 last year, I think, but I think that they're a team that, like I said, new stadium, the city, you got a good coach there. I mean, it's only going to matter of time before I think he really gets things turned around there and gets it going.
What are your thoughts on the new Pac-12 media rights deal?
Well, we'll see what the rest of it is. I think it was nice to get CBS involved and to get, some of the football games, some of the basketball games. And I think that's certainly a big deal. But I want to see what else is coming on that. Is this, what other networks are involved? I really think ESPN needs to be involved. I think that, I've said this on my shows and stuff. I mean, Boise State was pretty much made a national brand by ESPN and playing games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays early on. They had a great relationship with ESPN. And then that kind of went away when they in 2014 or whatever year it was, where they switched over and ESPN was not part of the Mountain West agreement anymore. And I just think that with the college football playoff being on ESPN, with college game day on ESPN, with all the narratives that they push, you need to have ESPN involved because they push the games, especially, in the non-Power 5. They just don't push any games or teams that they don't have deals with. And so I think for Boise State's sake, for this league's sake, you really got to find a way to get ESPN involved. So when you're on a Saturday morning on college game day, they're putting on the Saturday slate, the biggest 3 or 4, Pac-12 games that are coming up that night. I really do think that's important because they really just kind of ignore, and Boise State, for all the Genty hype and talk, they really did not get a lot of national publicity on ESPN last year because ESPN didn't have their games and didn't really care. And so I think that's very important to have ESPN involved. I'll be curious if there's any kind of streaming involved in Amazon or whatever else it looks like. But no, I think it was a nice start with CBS, but I still think they need a couple more big partners, and I'm curious to see what that looks like and what the money situation looks like as well.
BJ Rain's with us right now, Jon and Jim. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the addition, not just the addition of Texas State, but maybe what comes next, because it would be abnormal to have an 8-team football conference, really just 7 opponents. Maybe you play someone twice. And then with basketball, there's Gonzaga, but even there, a home and home would only be 16 conference games. Do you think they're done for 2026, or are you expecting a football or basketball addition to come?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question. I think they certainly need somebody else at some point here because, as you said, the math just doesn't work out. And so you have exit fees and things involved. I mean, I would still, I know I'm in the minority with some, but I would still like to see UNLV. And maybe it's just because I'm, love coming to Vegas and love Circa and being here, and it's just a great town. But I still think UNLV makes some sense for this league. I mean, I was not a huge fan of the Texas State edition. I know they're betting on them, and there's some things, 5-10 years down the line, but you don't know what things are going to look like 5-10 years down the line and realignment and all this stuff. So I wasn't a huge fan of the Texas State move, but I know they need a team and they were desperate, and I get it. But I still would like to see Memphis. I mean, if you could somehow get Memphis for football and basketball, that'd be a home run, I think, for this league. But if at least from a football standpoint, you have to have 9 teams so you can play 8 conference games. And unless they're going to do, as part of this mediation, some yearly series with Mountain West and Pac-12 schools to make up the extra game, I don't know what the plan would be, because you're less than a year away, and you're all of a sudden telling these schools they would need another game, and maybe for a year, like you said, you could do a home and home or something with the rival. I don't know how that would work out, but you need one more. I'd like to see one more, but I don't want to see, no disrespect intended, I don't need to see Rice. I don't need to see some of these other schools that are getting talked about, North Texas. I think you got your Texas State, that's fine, but now I think you really need to try to find a bigger name school. But I know money talks, and we'll just have to see if that's a possibility or not.
What'd you think of Ashton Genty getting drafted by the Raiders and staying in Las Vegas there?
That was pretty cool. I was at the draft covering that, and the difference from like a Jacksonville to a Vegas, 5 or 6, whatever, is just crazy in terms of the hype and everything in Vegas and how close, Las Vegas is to Boise. It's an easy nonstop flight, and Boise obviously has a connection with Vegas already with the Mountain West and UNLV, and it just made a lot of sense. There'll be a lot of Boise State fans going down to games and things now. Jacksonville would have kind of been just a awful place for him to go. Just no attention, no hype. One of the furthest possible ways away from Boise. So I think people were excited to see that it was Vegas, and certainly he's got a chance. I mean, heck, last year we were here at Mountain West Media Days. He couldn't even get in the door to Circa. He wasn't 21 years old. He had to do his media days across the street at Golden Gate, and now he's already running this town as the number 6 pick in the draft. So it's crazy what can happen in a year, but I think good spot for him. Pete Carroll likes to run the football, and I think he's got a chance to have a big rookie year.
BJ, we appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow. Please fix the Wi-Fi. We need it as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys. I'm hoping they don't have the switch turned on or something yet, because this could be a rough couple of days for someone that relies on streaming cameras and things on Wi-Fi. So I'll try to get it figured out for you before you get here.
Same with us.
We second that. Appreciate it, BJ. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, guys.
All right, great.
Take care.
All right, good stuff. BJ Rains again. We will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Which do you even remember the last time you were there?
Man, it's been a while since I've been to Las Vegas.
Yeah, he doesn't come top of mind, right?
Oh, it's
like,
been
2 days ago.
Yeah, it's been at least 48 hours.
Wow, it's been a while.
It will be. So I got home midnight on Sunday, and I will be in Vegas tomorrow morning at what time are we leaving? Like 8? We're leaving early.
8:50.
Okay, so we'll be in Vegas by like 10.
Yeah, 10:15 or something. Yeah. You only have been gone for 60 hours, 2.5 days, if that.
And I was just at Circa.
Well, here's the thing. It's better than at least Vegas isn't that far.
Like I still haven't unpacked yet.
Then perfect. You're good to go. Just keep
all my clothes are dirty.
Oh, you got to do laundry tonight. I know. No sleep for the weary. All right, we're getting ready for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. In addition to that, some interesting comments today from the commissioner related to Major League Baseball players participating in the Olympics in LA. Will we get that in the next Summer Olympics or not? Plus your chance to win those Comic-Con badges. The latest on the Padres with the trade deadline 2 weeks away. It's Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, SDFC back of the pitch tomorrow night. They've got Toronto FC at home right here at Snapdragon. Hear the match live tomorrow at 7 after SDFC Midweek Live right here on San Diego Sports 760. Your home for SDFC.
It looks like
Jim, what should we do now?
Well, not me and you, but you out there that are listening, go to the iHeartRadio app. If you haven't already, put San Diego Sports 760 in your presets. You have to have us in your presets. Then go to the talkback mic. It's the little red microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that. Tell us your name and your favorite superhero. And you have only 5 minutes to do this. And once you do it, you will be entered to possibly win a pair of badges to Comic-Con next week. But you only have 5 minutes, guys. So get to the iHeartRadio app right now, San Diego Sports 760, and hit that talkback mic.
Yeah. Tell us your superhero, your favorite, and you are entered to win. We'll announce that winner at 5:30. You were saying something before the Superman theme.
I lost my train of
You're
thought.
a goldfish. You have no clue.
It's like squirrel.
Yeah,
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Rob Manfred spoke today.
Nor am I going to try to remember what I said.
Who knows? You will never know what you were going to say.
Nope. It'll be the greatest mystery ever of Jon and Jim.
Rob Manfred today saying, related to Major League Baseball players participating in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. I think people would prefer to see that, right? Want to see amateur? You want to see amateur baseball players in the Olympics?
Would they?
In America?
Would they?
You like I thought everyone loves the WBC. I'm told everyone loves the WBC.
But when is the Olympics, Jon?
They play it in the summer, Jim, this year.
So,
and by this year, I mean 2028.
When does Major League Baseball season happen?
Hold on, let me check. Oh, it's in the summer.
Okay, so the overlap is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is there an overlap with the WBC?
No.
Okay.
So you're telling me you got two options. Play the Olympics with amateurs or play the Olympics with major leaguers. In one scenario, when you play with the major leaguers, it extends the season out, let's say. Mm-hmm. Manfred says it's doable without the season ending in the middle of November, but they'd have to make significant concessions. You say, how?
So they would stop the Major League Baseball season for like
twice.
3 weeks or something?
Not 3 weeks. They'd stop it for the All-Star break. It would probably be shorter. And they would still stop it for the Olympics. So they could move the All-Star break a week or two one way or another. And they would start. Now, Olympic baseball, I think, takes place over like 10 days.
Okay.
So are you anti right now?
I mean, how are you going to feel if in the middle of a season, it's just a hypothetical. Next year for Team USA, Jackson Merrill decides that he wants to play. Not decides, but he gets called. Like got
called up.
An invitation to play for Team USA.
And now he's going to miss time with the Padres? Hell no.
Exactly.
Hell no.
But it seems like they're going to stop the season for this, though, right?
Correct.
Okay, so then they stop the season. 10 days or whatever. Shorter All-Star break because they need to have a longer break somewhere for the Olympics. He breaks his ankle.
Well, nobody wants to see. Of course, that's always the worst case. Same thing tonight, Jim. What if it's the All-Star game? How's anyone going to feel if any real player gets hurt?
But this All-Star game has been happening forever.
Olympics have at times used major leaguers.
But the scenario that they're talking about is something that's completely new, right?
By the way, quick. Okay, Brent, what do you got?
The Olympic baseball tournament at the LA 28 games will last for 6 days. It goes from July 15th through the 20th.
But hear me out. The reason what's being reported today by Susan Slusser of the Giants hosting 2028 is to potentially put the All-Star game in California to then allow Olympic baseball to occur. Keep it close. Mm-hmm. Go from one event to the next, potentially. You're anti?
Who's out there being like, we need to get major league players so we can beat Team Japan?
Brent?
Sure, go America. What about this scenario? Would you trade the All-Star game for the Olympics?
They don't want to do that.
They don't want to.
They don't want to do it. They're gonna have an All-Star game. It makes them too much money. You got the TV rights.
Yeah.
You've got the sponsorships. I get your point. I think it's a fair question. It's a money thing.
They're even the same time period.
But Jim, you say who wants to see Team USA take on Team Japan? But then I go back to the WBC argument. I was sold on Trout Ohtani determining last time WBC was the greatest theater in baseball. It was unbelievable. People were enamored, but they lapped it up. They loved it. But now, no.
We complained for like 3 weeks because Yu Darvish.
I will complain.
Was in the WBC and he never pitched and it messed up his season.
What means more to you, an Olympic gold or a WBC title? To me, an Olympic gold means more.
To me, personally, I don't care.
Both don't mean anything to you.
It's not something that's been like the only Olympic sport that I like. Okay, this Team USA has to win the gold is basketball. I'm not like, man, we got to win that flag football gold, or this is going to be an embarrassment for.
But that would be
for USA. Would it?
Yeah, I think so. You can't lose football flag. You can't lose.
You can't lose flag football. You can lose flag football.
I mean, you can, but would it not be the biggest mockery in the history of the internet?
If Patrick Mahomes and Justin Jefferson out there for Team USA and they lose to like
Croatia,
randoms from Croatia, then it's not gonna be viewed well. But
and I think it will be NFL players.
It's not like they're having an actual football game out there, and you got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and George Kittle and Jefferson. And
so what are we saying? Would you prefer just play Major League Baseball all summer long in 2028, watch the Olympics as well, and let Team USA be filled with, the number 13 prospect in the Mariners organization? It's actually, they're not amateurs, but I do think you can use minor leaguers to some extent.
I do.
Or do you want to see Fernando Tatis Jr.?
I think it would be cool in an Olympic Games
in America
to see Major League players playing for their team, for their countries. But it's not something that I'm sitting here wanting to happen. It'd be cool, but if it messes up any part of the regular season, and it would, then you got a problem. Like pitchers, come on, dude. Like, I know Michael King probably won't be here, but if Michael King were here and he gets selected to pitch for Team USA and he goes out there and he's giving it his all, and then in the second half after the Olympics, he comes back and he's not the same pitcher, he doesn't perform well.
Yeah, the other thing about the Olympics, like it's reported by Baseball America today, that baseball is going to be 6 teams. What kind of tournament has 6 teams and then awards 3 medals? 6 teams? And like Brent just said, it's a 6-day event. How do you play baseball and determine a gold medal champion in 6 days?
Real quick, can I just say I love the introductions to the All-Star Game.
Because they're wearing their uniforms.
Yes.
They're wearing their hats too?
Well, they're wearing a version of their hats. It's like an alternate, but still it's not.
It has their logo on it, yeah.
But it has a different bill.
Yeah,
the
bill's different. The Padres, I love the Padres All-Star Game hat. It's the brown with the yellow bill.
Yeah.
And the All-Star Game logo patch on the side of the hat. I think that hat's great.
Yeah, no, I like the uniforms. I 100% like the uniforms.
Well, they're all wearing
their uniforms. That's what I like.
Which is great.
That's a change.
Last time we saw that was 2019 or 2018.
Well, I like when they listen to the feedback. It's like the NBA did. They were told that, hey, put the NBA Finals logo on the court, do introductions. They didn't. And baseball was told, hey, go back to the team's uniforms. People would prefer it. They did it. So I give them credit for that, because is it a merchandising opportunity lost? Yeah. Can you sell Yankees jerseys that are All-Star themed? Yeah, of course you can. But they say, you know what? People want Yankees uniforms. And also when I'm watching the game, I want to know the guy plays for the Yankees.
Yeah.
How do I know when he comes in from the bullpen, he plays for the New York Yankees? Got some small patch.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing in recent, All-Star games.
Who is
like,
this guy?
Once you get past those starters that you obviously know, you're getting randos being put in the game. You're like, what team does this guy play for?
Give me the full Padre uniform. Give me the full Rays uniform. And they're doing that. And I appreciate that. I completely agree with you on that.
Now, how much are these hats, by the way? Because I might want to get one.
Well, they're not going to be cheap. You're going to say they're going to be $60.
I bet it's $40.
No, it's more than $40. Nothing's $40 anymore. Maybe eggs.
Well, a normal hat is $30, so I figure they'll charge an extra $10 for All-Star.
Tell me how much an All-Star game on field authentic hat is.
Okay.
Don't you think it's $60?
My guess is the patch will make it a lot of money.
That's
$50.
$50.
$50?
Yep.
All right.
On MLB Shop.
Not bad.
They even got the Padres hat as the thumbnail.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Oh, you know what? I saw this at the MLB store. You're going to hate this hat. The top of the hat has stars on it, and it's very awkward. When they bend down, it like you should see the.
Yeah, I can see
it like pops up. It's very awkward.
Fine, looks good. Looks fine.
It's like right there.
No, well, you don't see the stars.
I know you don't.
It looks awful. I saw it in the store.
Oh, I mean, when I first started wearing my melon hats all the time,
yeah,
you could tell if you're watching us on YouTube. It's like it doesn't form directly to your head. And at first I was like, I don't know if I like this hat. And now I wear this hat all the time. I love it.
You do. But if you saw this hat in person, which I did, I was like, what is this thing? The top of the hat's very weird.
I'll say this. Looking at it on television right now, it does not look any different.
It doesn't, but you haven't seen the top of that.
I know. I have not, but it looks fine to me.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
All right. On the other side, back to this All-Star game. We'll keep you updated on it. In addition to that, we're going to hear from Scotty Sheffler as well, who's getting ready for the Open Championship. The Open Championship gets underway, what, in 2 days? Yeah. The Open Championship's going to be played in 2 days, right?
Yeah. Scotty Sheffler said something that was kind of amazing for a professional athlete to say.
And also the Chargers with note to San Diego, but does San Diego want a note from the Chargers? We'll talk about it in the 5 o'clock hour. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Paint Care. The MLB All-Star Game right now. Introductions are happening as we speak. Manny Machado is the starter at third base for the National League, hitting fifth tonight in the lineup. The other All-Stars for the Padres are Fernando Tatis Jr., Jason Adam, Adrian Morejon, and Robert Suarez. And we talked about it earlier on today's show, but SDFC and forward Milan Alowski have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. The 25-year-old will rejoin his club in Europe. Milan had 10 goals in 14 matches with SDFC this year. They know that leftover paint in your garage is clutter. Make more room for your collections of trading cards and comics. Take the leftover paint to a Paint Care drop-off site. Make more room in your garage and help the planet. Learn more at paintcare.com.org.
It's Jon and Jim to warm up that drive home.
Milan Alowski, who had 10 goals for SDFC in 14 matches, his loan is up. He's heading back to Europe. A San Diegan who starred in Major League Soccer is leaving SDFC.
This was just what it was, which was he was going to be here for a certain amount of time. Once his loan ends, he will be going back to his club. I don't think anybody saw him just like exploding like he did. He has literally won this team games this year by himself.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim. All-Star Game introductions are taking place at this exact moment, and you're going to hear what it sounds like as Padres are introduced, including relievers and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, who's about to be introduced momentarily as well. So the All-Star Game in Atlanta is gonna get underway at some point.
This is a concert. It's turned into a concert with Ludacris and Jermaine Dupri, Kane Brown sang the national anthem, I think.
Okay.
Or he sang something. I know.
I think it was the national anthem.
Okay, it was the national anthem. But now you got a performance by Ludacris and is that Jermaine Dupri, Brent? I think that's Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, that's Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. They got the
They can't have
band.
an event in Atlanta without Jermaine
Of course
Dupri
not.
being there.
Yeah, 100%. I get it. Yeah.
I know. I feel like you're going to be glued to this, right? You'll go home. You'll throw this on.
I think I will.
I know you will.
I think I will. I'm a big like if it looks event guy, I'll watch it.
I like events too. Now I love this way more than the home run derby, and to be honest, I just really wasn't into the home run derby. I'm way more into this, especially with the Padre element.
True.
And like maybe this
25
speaks,
All-Stars.
and this speaks to the hey, this is why you have to have a player from every team, because why would you watch in Denver if there was no Rocky? But the 5 Padre All-Stars. Is there a team with more?
How many did the Dodgers have? They got Ohtani, Freeman, Yamamoto.
I thought they had 5.
Will Smith.
I thought when they announced it, they had 5. The day of the announcement, they had 5. I don't know if there's anyone added.
An All-Star?
I don't know.
There's only 3 Dodgers in the starting lineup.
I love how we do this. It's Ohtani, Freeman. What year is it?
It's 2025.
It's Ohtani, Freeman, Will Smith, Yamamoto, and Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So they got 5.
Yeah. So I don't think there's a team with more than that. Maybe there is.
I don't think there is. I think that the Tigers have 4.
Maybe you're right. Maybe in the American League, I could look.
Tigers have 4.
Okay.
Baez, Skubal, and
Riley Green.
Yeah. They have actually 6.
Okay.
Baez, Riley Green, Zach McKinstry, Casey Mize, Tariq Skubal, Gleyber Torres.
Okay, there you go.
But still 5 tied for the most in the National League.
Doesn't it just look so much better?
The uniforms look so much better.
Seeing the players in their actual uniforms.
So much better.
Oh,
so clean.
Because everyone is instantly identifiable.
Yeah,
it's like,
so
oh,
much
look,
better.
it's Freddie Freeman. I know it's Freddie Freeman right away.
It's way better.
I love it.
I'm 100% in agreement on that. They did a very good job.
Last 5 years.
How do we put up with that?
I don't know, man. Those were awful.
It was tough years. We had
Those
the
were some tough
pandemic.
times.
Those were some really tough times.
But no, it just looks great. And Manny Machado is about to be introduced as we speak, and looks good, man. I like the hats, dude. I like the hats.
Then buy it, because I can't wait to see you never wear it. I guarantee you'll never wear it. You're going to wear it one day. I'll make fun of you, and that's the last time you'll ever wear it. Buy it.
Maybe
I want you to buy it.
Maybe
so bad.
I will. Maybe I will.
You never wear baseball hats ever.
I do wear Padres. I do have a Padres hat I wear,
but you don't wear them a lot. I see you every day.
I don't wear them a lot. I think I just like the material of my melon hat.
You do love melon. I like melon hats too.
It absorbs. It's not like wool. It's like I don't know what the.
Maybe do a melon All-Star Game hat.
Dude.
If they made that, then boom.
I did. I was at 18 Threads the other day.
SDFC.
In Mission Valley. And they have a collaboration with Melon. And they have an SDFC Melon hat.
Super cool.
At the store.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
It's like $70. But exactly. It's still a really cool hat.
No, I agree. So I think at this point we're probably just a few moments away. And I am in the first inning when you get the matchups, when you get the Scooble Ohtani, when you get the Judge scheme. I mean, that's really what people are waiting for. Like that is kind of must watch. There's not a lot of must watch with baseball. We always say with football, it's like 17 games, man. Well, watch your team. They play 17 times. In baseball, the reason it's not really appointment setting is if you miss a game, you can watch the next one. But when you get to an All-Star game and you actually get legitimate matchups where the players are trying and caring, like, I buy that. I think that is kind of must watch when you get some of those intriguing matchups.
Good job, baseball. You did it right this year. I just love the look of it. I love the look of it. The only thing we should change is get Joe Davis and John Smoltz off the broadcast.
That's more of a Fox issue.
But other than that, looks great.
Manfred also said today, talked about their TV rights. He said he was supposed to have it done by the All-Star game. They said they don't have it done, but they're making progress on their next national TV deal. Remember, we were told ESPN was out.
Yeah.
But then maybe ESPN is back in the fold potentially as well. I mean, ESPN rolled out the red carpet, so to speak, with Pat McAfee.
They really did.
They rolled out the red carpet. Is that in an effort to kind of make amends, bring these two sides together and extend out that deal? Potentially.
I like the fact that ESPN kind of went all in this week on the All-Star game.
Man. Pat McAfee, like that's a big deal. He doesn't talk baseball at all.
No, and he has the biggest show on that network.
Yep.
Or one of, I think maybe First Take's the biggest with Stephen A. Smith's on vacation because he doesn't know baseball. Right. Now Pat doesn't know baseball either.
But at least he admits to it.
Yeah, and they take a different route. Like when Stephen A. Smith tries to talk anything other than football or basketball, it really shows how he doesn't watch the sport that he's talking about. But then he tries to act like he knows what he's talking about.
Sure.
And that's just always really annoying. Like, just tell me, hey, dude, like when we talk about soccer on this show, we'll tell you straight up, like we are not huge soccer fans per se, and we're still learning the game, but we'll talk about what we see and like act or react accordingly. Stephen A. Smith, he'll talk like he knows everything about what's going on in the sport.
100%.
And like you said, at least Pat McAfee was like, I don't know what's going on.
And to his credit, again, is it my cup of tea? No, but I watched the entire show yesterday for whatever reason. I forget why. It was just on. Where was I?
You were on the plane.
I was on the plane. It was the only option. I had two sports channels, ESPN and ESPN2. I watched the entire show. Except
is it a good show? I've never watched
it. Wasn't
bad.
It's again, is it my cup of tea? No, but what I like about it is he, in his interview style, because he's so just like a bro's bro, he gets stuff out of guys because he'll go anywhere with it. Like he brings it so like I'm just a frat guy. He doesn't interview someone like he's conducting an interview. Like he'll interview Rob Manfred, like I said, for 40 minutes and he'll get stuff out of him because he's like doing like he did fists with Rob Manfred during the interview. So, yeah, like so he gets guys in places you would never get Rob Manfred otherwise. He was able to get him because it's like off the cuff more.
I've seen parts of Pat McAfee's show. It's just not for me. I can't do a full
I
2 hours or whatever, how long his show is.
3
hours. So he does 3 hours. We do 4 hours. Interesting.
But think about this. And he has 100 people that produce his show.
Correct.
But dude, baseball rolled out the red carpet for him. They gave him Ohtani. They gave him Judge. They gave him Manfred for 40 minutes.
That's wild.
I mean, that's insane.
The two best players in the sport and the commissioner.
I'm sitting there like, oh, we're going to have Judge on. I'm like, oh, really? Like, we're going to have Ohtani on. I'm like, this can't be real. They actually had Shohei Ohtani on the show. So, all right, what's it sound like? Padres being introduced before tonight's All-Star game in Atlanta.
From the San Diego Padres, outfielder Fernando Tatis Jr. Pitcher Jason Adam. Pitcher Adrian Morejon. And pitcher Robert Suarez. Batting fifth from the San Diego Padres, the third baseman, Manny Machado.
Hear the booze in there.
Joe Davis hated that. He's
he
like,
hates it.
third baseman, Manny Machado.
Yeah.
First baseman, Freddie Freeman.
100%.
DH, Shohei Ohtani.
I love your Joe Davis.
Outfielder, Fernando Tatis Jr. Pitcher, Clayton Kershaw.
Wait, do your Joe Davis game call, though.
The 3-2-0. Hold on.
3-2.
The 3-2 to Ohtani. High drive to right. This one is back, and it is out of here. The greatest player we have ever seen in the history of the sport has just hit his 50th home run of the season. What a player. What a player. Wow.
That's actually really good. I don't know if he uses that much.
I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out.
That is very good.
I think I need some water. I'm a little dizzy.
Do you want some of mine?
I'm kind of lightheaded right now.
Holy moly.
Oh, man. Wow.
The third baseman for the Padres.
Third baseman for the Padres, Manny Machado.
First baseman, Freddie Freeman. For like the Tigers, Zach McKinstry. Like, he gets so excited for
Outfielder,
everyone else.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that was good. I heard the boos for Machado. Honestly, I feel like you fully made it in baseball where you are booed in every ballpark on the road. Seriously, Machado resonates. There's not a lot of guys like that. Guys are not booed in every ballpark.
I'm guessing that the players that got the loudest boos were New York Mets.
Yeah, of course.
I did see David Wright tip his cap to the crowd.
Of course.
Yeah, Pete Alonso got booed out of the building.
Makes sense.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense. Well, the All-Star game. Did you take that? You took the National League. I took the National League. Brent roots for the National League.
Americans going to win, though. They always win.
They always win.
Why do they always win?
Well, it doesn't really make any sense, truthfully.
Yeah.
Does it? I mean, it's not like they always win the World Series. It's not like the NBA where the Western Conference is always better than the Eastern Conference, or at least in your head, it's always better.
Well, the cool thing is, though, is like they're going close to, I mean, they're not going 100%, but pitchers, they can't just go out there and fake it.
You can't fake it. You're not going to throw. You're not throwing underhand. You're not throwing 66. You're not going to throw 100. If you
now you're not taking it as seriously as you would if you were to pitch in a regular season game, but you still have to go out there and pitch at 100%.
Dude, the dude for the Brewers who throws 103, who's on this team, he ain't going out there throwing 88.
No, you're going to see Paul Skeens in the first inning here. Go triple digits, probably every fastball he throws.
Absolutely. Because you're not trying to get shown up by like Aaron Judge. His goal is not to allow 2 home runs here in the first inning.
Well, what was one of your favorite moments from All-Star games in the past that you could remember? Do I need to give you the break to figure this out?
I had mine right away.
What is it?
I mean,
Randy Johnson and John Kruk.
But that was when they made kind of a mockery of it.
But that's what I liked because it was fun and they showed they were having fun and it wasn't so serious.
Did he do the same thing with Larry Walker?
But Larry Walker didn't put his helmet on backwards and go to the other side of the plate.
No, Larry Walker did.
Oh, he did?
He did. He threw Randy Johnson threw it over Larry Walker's head. Go look it up. He then switched his helmet, went to the right side of the batter's box, and then Johnson threw a ball, and then he went back to the left-hand side.
Did Cal Ripken, the first thing I was going to say is Cal Ripken, didn't he homer on the first pitch? Because they say like he was given just like a fastball down the heart of the plate.
Yep. It was his last All-Star game and Tony Gwynn's last All-Star game.
0-1.
Cal won the MVP award. He originally went to shortstop, but A-Rod went over and told him you have to go to third.
Yep.
Right? That was it? Or no.
No, he was over at third and they moved him over to short.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
He was at third. A-Rod moved him to short.
I remember it.
That was a really cool moment. I think back in Boston in 98 when
Ted Williams
there and Tony Gwynn was with him. That's a great moment.
Milwaukee when Torrey Hunter robbed Barry Bonds that home run.
Yep, that was a very good moment.
Most infamous moment is the All-Star game ending in a tie in Milwaukee.
Pete Rose,
thanks, bud,
destroying.
That's the most infamous. Ray Fosse ending his career. No, we weren't alive. I wasn't alive for that, obviously. Yeah, nor was I. I was in the 70s.
Yeah, right? But in recent memory, those are probably. I can't think.
I've been to one. I went in Pittsburgh in 08, 2-1, A-Rod MVP. Quickest game ever. It was awesome.
I've never been to one.
It was awesome.
I didn't have a chance to go to the one.
You didn't go to the one in San Diego.
No.
All right. On the other side, we get fascinating comments from Scotty Sheffler. We're going to hear on the other side the Open Championship coming up later this week. We're going to hear from Scotty Sheffler some thoughts on the Chargers with an ode to San Diego, of all places, as well this hour. Stay with us. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We've been telling you about Monday Night Live. You can join them every Monday this month. A chance to win huge 10 winners every hour, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Odds better than ever. Onyx players receiving an extra $100 cash bonus on top of their winnings. Plus, earn entries all month long by playing. Get 2 times the entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $50,000 in the big deal game. It's a promotion you're not going to want to miss.
And test your brain power during Sunset Trivia every Tuesday night at Loft 94 from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. While you're there, enjoy their fresh sushi, savory ramen, and signature cocktails, all in a vibrant, laid-back setting.
Also, UFC 318 coming up Saturday night, this Saturday, and you can catch the action at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, Loft 94, or their poker room at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. All-Star Game about to get underway. Open Championship will get underway later this week. Set this up for us. Scotty Sheffler's coming off what? A year in which he's got another major, which is his third career. He's got 2 Masters. He's got a PGA Championship. He's getting ready now for an Open Championship, which he's never won. Mm-hmm. Hasn't won the U.S. Open either. But set up what we're about to hear from Scotty Sheffler speaking with the media, getting ready for the Open Championship.
I would describe it as Well, this is what it's titled here, the unsatisfying venture. How sports can be the unsatisfying venture for athletes. And I thought this was probably one of the most realist quotes and comments from one of the best at their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Take a listen to Scotty about his unsatisfying venture in sports.
I think it's kind of funny. I think, I think I said something after the Byron this year about like, it feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for like a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that kind of euphoric feeling. And I like to win the Byron Nelson Championship at home. I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have an opportunity to win that tournament. And you win it, you celebrate, get to hug my family, my sister's there. It's such an amazing moment. And then it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. Is it great to be able to win tournaments and to accomplish the things I have in the game of golf? Yeah. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about, because it's literally worked my entire life to become good at this sport, and to have that kind of sense of accomplishment, I think is a pretty cool feeling. To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of like the deepest, places of your heart. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life, and then you get there and all of a sudden you get to number one in the world, and then they're like, what's the point? And I really do believe that, because what is the point? You're like, why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something that I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to get to the next week and it's going to be like, hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And it's just like, we're back here again, So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments. And, I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point, because I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but am I not? It's just one of those deals. I love the challenge. I love being able to play this game for a living. It's one of the greatest joys of my life, but does it fill the deepest, wants and desires of my heart? Absolutely not. I mean, I love playing golf. I love being able to compete. I love living out my dreams. I love being a father. I love being able to take care of my son. I love being able to provide for my family out here playing golf. And, every day when I wake up early to go put in the work, my wife thanks me for going out and working so hard. And when I get home, I try and thank her every day for taking care of our son. It's just, that's why I talk about families being my priority, because it really is. I'm blessed to be able to come out here and play golf, but if my golf ever started affecting my home life, or it ever affected the relationship I have with my wife or with my son, that's going to be the last day that I play out here for a living. This is not the be all end all. This is not the most important thing in my life. And that's why I wrestle with, why is this so important to me? Because, I would much rather be a great father than I would be a great golfer. That at the end of the day, that's what's more important to me.
But I think that's why I asked the question, what is losing like for you?
It sucks. I hate it. I really do. That is. And I think that's why we try to work so hard to not lose, but golf's a game where you just lose a lot more often than you win. I mean, that's just a simple part of it. In basketball or football, when there's only 2 guys out there, you can win a lot more than you lose. But I think I was looking at stats. It was one of the best tennis players. It might have been Federer or Djokovic or somebody. They only won like 48% of their points or something like that. I mean, playing professional sports is a really weird thing to do. Like, it really is, just because we put in so much effort. We work so hard for something that's so fleeting. I mean, it really is. Like, the feeling of winning just doesn't last that long. When I sit back at the end of the year and, I kind of try to reflect on things, like having that sense of accomplishment from winning the Masters tournament, from winning the PGA Championship, I have a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for it. But it's just hard to explain how it just doesn't satisfy. is how I would describe it. It's an unsatisfying venture. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is this is not the place to look for your satisfaction. This is something that's where you can have a great appreciation for and a great a great amount of thankfulness for being able to do this. And it's, I mean, like I said, it's literally one of the most fun things that I can do in my entire life. I love being able to come out here and play golf and compete. But at the end of the day, it's just not what satisfies me.
Isn't that,
Dude, that is
fascinating?
Fascinating. It reminds me of like there's this saying like it's what I do. It's not who I am.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some people, it is who they are. Like they're completely
Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan,
and not to say Sheffler isn't,
Tom Brady,
but he was riding that fence there. Like, hey, I mean, I hate losing. I love winning. I've worked my life for this, but not at the expense of my family. No. And at the end of the day, if you're doing this because you think you're going to be the most satisfied person in the history of the world by winning, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm a living example of it. That's not the case.
Like, you know, Michael Jordan, right? 6 titles. And after every title, it was like, all right, what's next? We got to win another. And the Last Dance documentary kind of showed, you know, their 6th title. It was like, or no, after the 3rd title, the first three-peat, there wasn't like a celebration. It was almost like a relief. You look at the Warriors when they went through their mini dynasty here, their back-to-back titles with KD. After they won their 2nd, it was like a relief.
Yeah.
There's not a euphoric celebration feeling. And once that celebration is over with, it's right back to like, what's next?
And it's such a good point. Like Steph Curry can win back-to-back titles. And then people will be like, you know, he hasn't won since.
He hasn't won a finals MVP.
You know, and he hasn't done that. Like it is honestly, when you think about it from that perspective, and look at golf, 100 plus golfers in every event.
Yeah.
And if you don't quote unquote win, you're not good. You come in 2nd out of 150 golf. Oh, he didn't win. Didn't win the Open Championship. What's wrong with Scotty? It's 200 like guys there. Yeah. It's not easy.
It's the same thing with like the Padres. When the Padres, like Manny Machado, when he goes through struggles, it's like, why is Manny going through struggles? He stinks. Yeah. Oh, it's like,
it's so not. I know.
It's just, you know, some athletes' priorities are different than others. It just so happens that Scotty is the best golfer in the world.
I was fascinating to hear. I mean,
my gosh.
Literally, I'm so glad we played that.
I heard that this morning. I was just like, I was glued to honest. Every word.
So honest, so transparent. Okay, we're going to keep you updated on the All-Star game now underway. Top of the 1st inning, Paul Skeens has struck out the first batter of the game. On the other side, how about this? The Chargers with an ode to San Diego, of all places. That's next. Stay with us. If you're maxed down on credit cards or struggling with high interest debt, you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey guys, it is Schaefer. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals or waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paying off debt, renovating their kitchen, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,800. A huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity, it's yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home. See how much cash you can get today. Call now. Start the conversation. Here's the number, 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. That's 619-207-4336. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
All right, this update is brought to you by Imminent International University. All-Star Game underway in Atlanta. Bottom of the first inning, we go. Manny Machado hitting 5th for the National League. Paul Skeens with a scoreless top of the first inning. Other Padres in the game: Fernando Tatis Jr., Adrian Morejon, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez. In SDFC news of the day: Milan Olaski and the club have mutually agreed to a loan termination effective immediately. Milan had 10 goals in 14 matches this year for SDFC. Your pathway to your purpose is at Alliance International University. Help people recover through the power of everyday actions with a degree in occupational therapy. From the Alliance University School of Nursing and Health Sciences, visit alliance.edu. Enrollment is happening now.
All right, All-Star Game in Atlanta underway, and it is scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Paul Skeens. Aaron Judge grounding out. Skeens 2 strikeouts. And now we get the other highly anticipated matchup of Tariq Skubal opposite Shohei Ohtani.
You know what this all reminds me of? Because Tariq Skubal pitching right out of Ohtani just threw a four-seam fastball, it looks like, but he only threw it 89 miles an hour. It was brought up on my timeline or on my feed recently.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the at bat? I forget what year it was, but it might have been 04. The at bat. Yeah, that's a crazy
piece of hitting, was it not?
Yeah, I guess Tariq Skubal, lefty on lefty.
Right. It took a pitch. How far low and away is this pitch that he just singled up the middle?
I mean,
it felt far low and away. Look at that.
I mean, this is a
good luck. It's not, but I mean, for him to get that
still,
yeah,
6-7 inches off the plate.
Okay, but yeah. Continue.
Do you remember the at bat in 04? I want to say, could be wrong, between Eric Gagne and Barry Bonds.
Of course, yes.
One of the most iconic at bats in the history of the sport. And you know the story behind that?
No, I don't think so, or I haven't thought about it in a while.
Bonds and Gagne were playing, I think, exhibition games in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was around the time where Gagne was the Cy Young Award winner in the National League, and Bonds just won his 5th or 6th MVP, right? And there was a conversation they had that if they ever faced each other, it had to be they had to be up by 3 runs. There had to be basically the scenario had to be if Bonds was up the plate against Gagne, and there wasn't an opportunity to either tie the game or take the lead.
Okay,
mano y mano, give me your best.
I like that.
The agreement was all fastballs, and you get 1 curveball.
Okay, I like that.
And Gagne, on an 0-2 pitch, threw a curveball to Bonds. Bonds took it.
So that was the only curveball he should see.
Only curveball he was going to see in the at bat, and it was a ball. And then he could only throw fastballs. The whole thing was, and it was an agreement they had between just themselves.
Right. Nobody else knew
about it. That if they were to face each other in a situation, 3 runs or more, where Bonds was at the plate, didn't have a chance to either tie the game or take the lead, it was only fastballs.
Interesting.
You get 1 curveball.
Interesting.
And so he would, I mean, this at bat went on for a good amount of pitches.
Yeah.
And then Bonds would turn on a pitch and he hit one 500 feet foul out of AT&T Park. And then on the last pitch, Bonds hits a 2-run homer to center. The Dodgers end up winning that game 3-2. But Bonds says that was his greatest at bat he's ever had. And I was just thinking about, in the All-Star game, if I'm watching Skubal against Ohtani or Skeens versus Judge, bro, mano y mano.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing any junk up there.
No, I'm not walking these
Give
dudes.
me a hundo, bro.
Yeah.
Give me your best
and they're not
fastball.
And don't work around it.
Don't work around this. Throw one to me. See if I hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I hit it, great. If I miss it, you win.
You win. Yeah, exactly.
But don't go up there trying to throw junk as the National League just takes a 1-0 lead.
I told you they're going to score 7 runs tonight. They're going to score multiple runs in this inning. They're up 1-0. They have second and third. 2-0, and they have maybe a runner at second.
Is that Freeman?
No, it's Ketel Marte.
Well, the MVP of the game is now Ketel Marte.
As of now, it's Ketel Marte. But how about that? 2 runs off Skubal, who's got a sub-2 ERA coming in. And that's 3 consecutive base hits to start the game. I love that story.
But if you haven't heard that story, and again, it's told way better by Barry Bonds and Eric Gagne. But go look up that at bat, watch it on YouTube. It's one of the greatest at bats in baseball history. And then find Barry Bonds and Eric Gagne talking about that at bat. It's fascinating to watch. And it just reminded me of the All-Star game because we just watched Skeens versus Judge and Skubal versus Ohtani. Like, bro, don't throw me any junk. Give me the 99. Give me the hundo. See if I hit it.
What's interesting, I love that. What's interesting right now is the fans are standing for Freddie Freeman, who of course
as they should
starred in Atlanta. He got emotional before the game with Ken Rosenthal. Oh, because that's now on social media. That I don't know, tears on his eyes. I don't know what he said
with little Ken.
With little Ken,
Freddie
Freeman got emotional on his return to Atlanta, which makes sense. He spent a ton of time in Atlanta, right? 10+ seasons, won a World Series.
Oh, there's no outs. Manny's going to get in bat here.
Oh, he sure is. He sure is right now. In fact. But yeah,
he's going to get it back.
National League, we're going to see our first Padre of the night in the form of Machado.
So, 200 homer?
That would be nice. Yeah, then he would become the MVP frontrunner.
That is true, yeah.
If that happened.
Manny Machado, the 12th player in MLB history to reach 350 home runs and 2,000 hits at age 32.
I like how you just had that.
I know.
You were ready for this moment. You had your game notes in front of you.
It's like, oh, Manny's up. Boom. Throw out
Everyone sat back down. With Machado, by the way, with Machado now batting, they all said, "Ooh,
that was gonna hurt."
The umpire might be it for the umpire tonight.
Yep, that was gonna hurt.
While we have a moment, we'll let you know what Machado does here, obviously, but I mean, we don't have like the rights to call this game, although I would love to. The Chargers today with some uniform unveilings, including a powder yellow, whatever that means, but also the Superchargers uniform will return. And it will return in week 8 at quote unquote home.
Okay.
Home.
Against who? The Chiefs when
against the Vikings.
Okay. Their Vikings will overtake that stadium.
Yeah, of course they will. But you know the uniform we're all referring to is that navy rich Supercharger uniform, and that will return in 2025 in week 8 at SoFi Stadium in what's basically an ode to their time in San Diego. But I don't think San Diego necessarily is looking for an ode.
Does anybody care?
That's a strike, isn't it?
Oh, ABS that.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing it. So we're going to see our first ABS.
Will Machado strike out on ABS?
Oh, he's going to strike out on ABS right here. That's a strike.
It looked it.
You think the umpire didn't call it just because they wanted to have it be tested?
Do you think that's a strike? Oh my God. He missed that by.
Oh, that's a full ball. Dude, that's 100% strike.
Dude, I love ABS. Oh,
call return. Strike 3.
First batter ever struck out on ABS. I mean, I guess other than spring training. Wow.
There we go. Everyone's like ABS.
Oh, Roberts is so happy. He's like, yeah.
Stupid
he's like,
loser.
bring him up. Roberts is
moron.
Like, he's like, yeah, he's out. Ridiculous. So what do you make of this? I mean, Superchargers uniforms returning. You're thinking of LT like Junior Seau. I mean, seriously, right? When you see that uniform, that's what I'm thinking of.
It's a serious cry for help from that organization that they can't think of anything new to do, but to go back to San Diego ties, where they have to, create. You can't create anything on their own in LA because nobody cares about what the Chargers do in LA.
Right.
They have to try to gain back San Diego Chargers fans from years past, and it's been 9 seasons now.
9.
Too little, too late. You effed the whole thing up. I'm not saying that they could have gone to LA and still kept the majority of the fan base in San Diego. That thing was that thing was long gone because of all the things that Dean Spanos did leading up to that moment. Nobody was going to follow that team regardless.
Sure.
But 9 years in, you are just now trying to open your arms to San Diego again by having training camp down here at USD, having all of their jerseys, their alternates be, a nod to San Diego, the nod to San Diego Chargers days, and having LT and Antonio Gates and Sean Merriman, guys that were San Diego Chargers being put out there as like, some of the Hall of Famers of this franchise. And it's like, dude, nobody likes you guys anymore.
Dude, listen to this real quick. This is at chargers.com in the release. The yellow ones, these powder yellow, whatever the hell that means, they're calling them Charger Power. Listen to this in the release. The gold jersey channels the energy and progressive nature of the Air Coryell days, when the Chargers had one of the most explosive and lethal offenses the NFL has ever seen. Fans packed the Murph back then, wearing gold Charger Power t-shirts, a phenomenon not lost on Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Fouts. You are everything you're doing is a nod, and I get it. I mean, it's the same organization, but you turn the page.
Yeah, you're done.
But apparently you haven't, because 9 years later, everything is done with an ode to the Murph.
Yeah, you can't pedal backwards and try to
it's so dumb.
Take the history that was 56 years in San Diego and then take it to LA and be like, look at our history. That's not your history. Okay. The Chargers history now is dead. Like the Chargers history in San Diego, it's dead. They can try all they want. No one's falling for it. All right, some are.
So no, I was going to say some are,
and that's
it's not
fine.
that they're falling for it. Listen, I get it. If you're born and raised, I get it. Like, okay, what are you supposed to do? Like, I get, like, if you're there with your father and your grandfather and your brother and your sister, I'm done. Maybe, or maybe you're not. I get it.
I've been in San Diego since 2010, and when I first got here, obviously Chargers town. And when they left, it was a weird transition. The Padres were in the kind of no man's land, and the Chargers, there was a lot of hate watching going on. But as soon as the Padres signed Manny Machado, they changed their jerseys, they became contenders, they got Tatis, and the last 5-6 years, the tide has shifted. This 100%. Is a Padres town, 100%. In Chargers news, it's like when a tree falls in a forest, are you going to hear it?
I completely agree based on the strategy of our show. But make no mistake. I want, this point does have validity. Even if we think the organization's a joke and what they're doing is ridiculous, I agree with that. There are diehard Charger fans. They just are. Again, if you grew up, I agree. But I mean, if you know what my point, if you've been a Charger fan 50 years, now you're going to root for the Jaguars.
Real quick, this is totally on par for LA and Hollywood, though. What's the gripe about Hollywood lately? They can't come up with any new ideas for movies, so they just remake stuff that's been done before. The Chargers, the LA Chargers, can't come up with any fresh new ideas on their own, so now they're just recycling all the other ones and just remaking all the Charger stuff.
We're going to have the winner, by the way, of the Comic-Con badges on the other side, plus Jim's back page next, Jon and Jim. All right, final time, Jon and Jim. Let's announce our winner. Okay, this is for 2 badges to Comic-Con 2025 next weekend in San Diego. Who is our Tuesday winner? Can we get a drum roll, please?
Congratulations to Alex from Fallbrook. You have won a pair of badges to Comic-Con next week. If you did not win today, don't worry. We are giving away another pair of badges on tomorrow's show and Thursday's show and Friday's show. So make sure you're listening tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday starting at 2 p.m. for your chance to win.
We will be in Vegas tomorrow and Thursday. And again, you can win those Comic-Con badges. Mountain West Football Media Days should be pretty fascinating. A couple of days with everything playing out between the Mountain West and the Pac-12. All right, it's 2-0 National League. Do you want to do a back page here?
Yeah, I got some stuff. Here we go.
Let's get to it. All right.
KFC, John. I know you love KFC.
Chicken.
Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Right.
Is releasing new Kentucky Fried Pickles. KFC is bringing bold Southern flavor back to the forefront by launching its brand new Kentucky Fried Pickles, available nationwide starting today.
I like pickles.
The crispy snack joins KFC's, quote, comeback era campaign, which features refreshed menu items and a new wave of promotional deals designed to re-energize the brand. The new fried pickles are made with crinkle-cut dill pickle slices, hand-battered in KFC's signature seasoning coating, and fried to golden perfection. Customers can enjoy them with a side of KFC comeback sauce or creamy ranch. If I'm having fried pickles, I need ranch.
I need ranch. Absolutely. I'm dipping that thing in ranch.
Yeah, I need some ranch. You can buy these. You can buy these fried pickles for $7.
$7.
It's a lot.
I might hit that up though.
No, you won't.
Vegas. Let's do it. we land.
KFC.
Straight to KFC.
Take us to KFC.
Pickle time.
Let's step on it.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Staying with a theme today of fast food restaurants.
And chicken.
Starting today, Chick-fil-A fans can get ready for the fast food chain to kick off a new promotion offering free food every Tuesday. The giveaway is part of their interactive summer campaign tied to Code Moo, a Chick-fil-A original digital game featuring their iconic cows. Each week, customers can participate in Code Moo to unlock special food rewards via the Chick-fil-A app. The campaign is designed to celebrate summer with fun, family-friendly twists, and blending gameplay with delicious prizes. The free food offerings will vary week by week and may include fan favorites like the original chicken sandwich, nuggets, and waffle fries. To claim the reward, guests simply need to log into the Chick-fil-A app on Tuesdays, complete the weekly Code Moo mission, and redeem the free item at participating locations.
Jason Adam has come on and struck out Ryan O'Hearn. And he didn't open the Chick-fil-A app.
I was going to say, how much of that did you listen to?
I listened. You need to open the app on Tuesdays, which is today, so it's relevant.
And play the Chicken Moo game.
Yeah.
Or Code Moo game, excuse me. So back to the All-Star game real quick. They said that it was reported earlier, Dave said that he was going to bring in Jason Adam third.
Right, but he didn't say that.
This was the plan. Kershaw for 2, have him have a walk-off, tip his cap.
Right.
You bring in a reliever to finish off the inning. You don't bring in a starter.
100%.
So that was Jason Adams' only batter that he's going to face tonight.
That's okay. We got more Padres to appear.
No, I get it, though.
Yeah.
It's actually, I hate Dave Roberts, but it's actually smart of him to do that. So you don't have a reliever pitching too much.
Yeah, work a full inning.
Just have a starter go 2 outs and have the reliever come in to finish off the inning.
Yeah, and if you're Jason Adam now, and from the Padres' perspective, you threw 5 pitches.
100%. You're done. You're good.
You're
you don't need to see him anymore. That was all you need to see from Jason Adam. And I'm sure the Padres front office is like great with it.
Yeah.
Finally, Pizza Hut is now selling personal pan pizzas for just $2 every Tuesday.
Really?
Pizza Hut has officially launched a new limited time promotion called the $2 Tuesday, offering customers 1-topping personal pan pizzas for just $2 each and every Tuesday at participating locations across the United States. The deal is available for carry out only and is limited to 6 pizzas per customer per visit. This offer is expected to run throughout the summer, though availability may vary by location due to high demand and limited daily supply.
The demand will be high.
$2 pizzas, like personal pizzas. You can buy 6 of those.
Yeah.
$12.
You can't get anything for $2 anymore.
No, nothing is for $2.
And you don't have to read a book to get those anymore.
You used to previously?
Okay, you guys don't remember Book It?
No.
Where you had to through school? Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Where you is with Pizza Hut, you'd have to read a book. And if you read a book, you'd go to Pizza Hut and give them the sheet of paper. They give you a free personal pan pizza for being literate. Well, I know, because we're old.
I know. We're going way back. Is that the back page?
That's the back page, John.
I love that. I love that.
We'll be in Vegas tomorrow.
Yes, we will be. I am looking forward to it.
So when are we meeting at the airport? What time are you going to get there tomorrow?
Honestly, not that early, probably. I'll be on the plane.
When's the flight again? What time's the flight? Like 8:30?
8:50.
8:50?
But I know you. One thing you won't do is miss the
So we
flight.
board at like 8:15?
God, you just told him. Now the paparazzi is going to be there waiting
But
for
you
you.
don't have. I have pre-check on mine. You don't.
Oh, I don't.
So you got to go through security. I mean, I do too. But
so I'll get there at like 7:30.
I'll get there at like 4.
Hey, but you guys don't have to take your shoes off anymore.
You know
In
what?
general?
I just found that out.
They got rid of that.
I just found that out because
It was like
flying
last week. Yeah.
Huge.
flying this past week, I took my shoes off and the TSA agent said you don't need to take your shoes off. And I was like, what?
Yeah, they were just going to use it as like a pilot program, pun intended. But then after like a day, they're just like, screw it, you don't have to do it anymore.
So after all those years,
taking your shoes off, your belt
leave
off.
them on.
Leave them on. Now your belt, I think you got to take off still, but
yeah, belt you still have to do.
Yeah,
but not shoes.
pre-check.
Shoes, not taking your shoes off. That's massive.
Oh, it's huge win. That's
Oh my
why I got
gosh.
pre-check. I'm not taking my shoes off. And then my socks are dirty. I don't need dirty socks.
No dirty socks.
All right, we'll catch up tomorrow from Vegas. We have Comic-Con badges to give away. It's Mountain West Football Media Days, full reaction to the All-Star Game, plus getting ready for the second half for the Padres. And Kevin Acee will join us, the commissioner of the Mountain West, Aztec football players, and more. Be with us. If you missed anything today, sportssd.com, iHeartRadio app. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.